This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello, and welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show, everybody. We've got a lot to discuss today. We just found out within the last 30 seconds, Lions, Patriots. That is your Germany game for Week 10. 3 days, 3 games in 15, 3 games in 12 days there between Week 10 and Week 12. A very brutal stretch. Nonetheless, Patriots, that's the opponent for Germany. I look at the rest of the schedule at home. The Lions really might not lose another home game because that's technically a home game, so they might not lose a game in Ford Field this year. We'll talk about the schedule a little bit later on. First and foremost, let's just get this out of the way. I don't want to spend more than 90 seconds on it. The Tigers have become unwatchable, Kyle. I can't do this to myself for 2.5 hours every night. Gage Workman, he's playing third base yesterday. At least that's what he's allegedly doing. Potential double play to end the inning. He ends up sailing about. I don't even know where he was intending to throw the ball. He's going to say it was second base. It was nowhere near second base. Sends it way into right field. 2-run score, and just like that, the Tigers, they end up getting destroyed by the Mets, who, as of yesterday, had the worst record in all of baseball. So now I'm suddenly thinking maybe the Tigers are actually the worst team in baseball. I can't do this to myself for 2.5 hours every day. It is an awful brand of ball.
Yeah, usually, when the Tigers are competing and they're a solid team, you still stick around till the end of the game. You never really know what's going to happen. I'm with you. I did not do that last night. I turned this thing off when it was like 6-2, and it was at the same time that the Timberwolves were kind of coming back a little bit against the Spurs. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to fully shift my attention to this. And, really tough, man. This Tigers team is very difficult to watch.
When Gage Workman decided to have basically a Little League error, it was one of their 2 last night, and send the ball into right field, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go take a shower. I came back. They'd already given up more runs. I was like, yeah, I'm good, man. I don't need to see how this one ends. So we'll have a Tigers conversation at 10 o'clock. It's not to do with this crappy team, more so to do with one player who's hurt. His name is Tarik Skubal. Until then, I do want to talk about Game 5 tonight, pivotal Game 5. When you win Game 5, if it's 2-2, 82% of the time you're going to end up winning the series, according to NBA history. This is obviously a big-time matchup back at home. Pistons are wearing the blue jerseys tonight against the Cavaliers. But let's take a step back for just a moment. We do this at the beginning of the season. What's the goal for the team? We check in throughout the year. What's the goal for the team? Hell, you even do it right before the playoffs start. I am giving you one final opportunity to move the goalpost. But after today, after Game 5, you don't get to do that again. What is the goal for the Detroit for the Detroit Pistons here in 2026? What is success? What constitutes a successful season? Is it, hey, they've already done that. They were the 1 seed, 60 wins. Cade Cunningham in year number 5, age 24. He's done it, man. First team All-NBA. You had another, potentially, you had another All-Star as well in Jalen Duren. You won a playoff series. Maybe you already think they've achieved that. I think if I'm going to move the goalpost one final time for me, I look around. Okay, you went up 2-0 against Cleveland. Cade Cunningham looks like the best player in the conference. The team that's waiting for you on the other side of the bracket in the East, you swept in the regular season in dramatic fashion. Part of me wants to sit here and say, you've got a best 2 out of 3 series with Cleveland. You win this, you get to go play the Knicks. Part of me wants to say, you got to get all the way to the finals before I'm ready to say that this is a success of a season. But then when you zoom out, obviously, if I would have told you, hey, you're going to win 2 playoff series, you're going to win 2 playoff series this year against Cleveland and Orlando, you told me that at the beginning of the year. I think that's a massive W. But if you are giving me one final chance to move the goalpost, I think the situation has unfolded in a way where I'm ready to say it's finals or bust for the Detroit Pistons. And maybe that's getting a little bit ahead of myself. Maybe that's not accounting for the fact that New York's going to be well rested. Detroit, if they make it out of the series, is not. There's already been some major signs of regression from Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren, even Cade's showing a little bit of fatigue right now. I'm fine acknowledging all those things and setting myself up for a little bit of disappointment. But Hellman, you got to shoot for shoot for the moon, aim for the stars? I think the finals is very much on the table for the Pistons. And if I'm having one last final opportunity to move the goalpost, that is where I'd like it to be. And I'd rather it be too far than too close of just, hey, they've already won it, or hey, just win this series. But I am curious as to what Kyle thinks, what other people think. Where are we at in terms of what constitutes success for this year's Pistons team? Have they already achieved it? If not, what else do they have to do?
Yeah, shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. You almost had it there.
Close enough.
Close enough. Lions on your mind this morning. I get it. Look, I think that my goalpost has not shifted. I understand that the scenario has maybe changed in a way where going into the playoffs you felt, well, Boston's a team to beat, and if it's anybody else, you feel like the Pistons might have a chance to get to the NBA Finals. Now, I think a lot of things have changed in the playoffs for Detroit, both good and bad. The ascension of Tobias Harris, playoff T, has made them a bigger threat. You know, if you would have said going into the playoffs, hey, Tobias is going to have 20 straight in 6 games in a row, or 20 points in 6 games straight. Okay, we're going to the finals because Jalen Duren's going to play like a 20 points per game guy too. Oh, wait. No, he's not. The guy who we all thought was going to be the guy who won the series against the Knicks last year, who didn't play, is Isaiah Stewart, now is unplayable. Like, as much as we're saying we need Isaiah Stewart in a Knicks series, do we? Like,
not if he's going to continue to
that's
play
what I'm
the way
saying.
that he has.
I think he might just still be, they might be better off not playing him. And so, for me, the goalpost has not shifted. It is, they came into these playoffs with no playoff success with this core. Getting any ounce of playoff success in itself was going to be like a check, but I still was like, get to the conference finals, beat Cleveland, because going into the playoffs, Cleveland was favored over you. They were favored as far as a team that was predicted to go to the finals with better odds than Detroit. And in the regular season, Cleveland took Detroit's lunch money a little bit. You know, that was a team that kind of exposed the Pistons as like, oh, are they really the best team in the East? They got a little bit exposed in the first round. Both Cleveland and Detroit did, sneaking out in 7 games. But now things have changed where you're supposed to beat Cleveland. You went up 2-0 and you've lost these 2 games. So I still think getting to the conference finals, anything from there on out is kind of a bonus. If you get to the NBA Finals, OMG, we'll take it. But I don't think anyone disagrees that this Pistons team is still like a larger piece away from winning an NBA championship, right?
Well, you look at what's going on out west, and there's 2 teams that essentially look unbeatable that are going to run into each other in the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, I don't think that this Pistons team as it is right now can win an NBA Finals. Now, with that being said, I don't think anybody thought Indiana could push the Thunder to 7 games last year. Like, you just got to get there, and who knows? Something will the Pistons be 4-1 underdogs no matter who they play? More than likely. But you never know. Anything can happen. But I do look around, and there is this youth movement of what's happening to where, look at what's happening with the Spurs. They've got a little bit of an alien in Victor Wembanyama, but it's happening like that. They've got a rookie who's been one of their most impactful players this year. Their second most impactful players, a second-year guy. And then obviously Victor in a third year is at the core of it. With the Spurs, they've got all these young guys too, and Chet and Jalen Williams. Obviously SGA's 27 now, so he's kind of hitting his prime. But Cade Cunningham, like typically, obviously, you've needed to be 27, 28 years old to really get over that hump. I think that age is getting a little bit lower and lower and lower, and I don't know if that's the youth circuit. You know, the college game's a lot better. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I think maybe there is an expectation for younger players to have that success. Maybe it's the salary cap. The teams that, you know, it's just so hard to maintain championship level teams that these teams, you know, that aren't up against the cap like the Detroit Pistons actually have the ability to go get big pieces to help them out, which is something the Pistons can still do this offseason. But nonetheless, like, I look at this team that they have right now. There's no reason they can't beat Cleveland. Then you walk into a conference finals against the team that you had their number on over the course of the year. Plus, their swing guy, our version of that's Tobias Harris, who's been the number one reason that the Pistons have gone on this run, or the most shocking part about the run. Their guy, OG Anunoby, has a hurt hamstring right now. And the longer and longer this Pistons series goes, the longer that OG Anunoby gets to heal up from that. But nonetheless, like, if Tobias Harris had a hamstring injury, just like that, the season's probably over. Their guy has a hamstring injury. They're sitting there waiting for the Pistons. I like, if I'm presented an opportunity one more time to move that goalpost, I think I would want to aim it past the New York Knicks, because I think all of us throughout the course of the regular season felt really good about playing the Knicks in a playoff series this year, that the Pistons would take it a lot more personally, that they'd have the punches, that this year they have a Star Thompson who's twice as good as a defender as he was last year. I don't want to all of a sudden move it backwards simply because the Knicks have looked so good in the playoffs. When we've talked about it, I think everything has just kind of played out perfectly for them, where it hasn't so much for the Pistons.
Agreed, and I don't want to make it seem like me saying them making the conference finals is the goal is like I don't think they can beat the Knicks, because I do think they can beat the Knicks. Like I think they absolutely could win that series. But for me, saying like what is the expectation? Where is the goalpost? You saying finals or bust? So that means they don't make the finals. It's a disappointing season, right? That's what that means to me.
I have a hard time really landing on any certain, like, I say that I'm like, like, if they don't go to the finals, it's a failure. And then I say it out loud. I'm like, I don't think it's a failure. I don't want to strip away everything that they accomplished this year. But at the same time, it's like, man, if they don't beat the Knicks in a vacuum, that's a failure of a series without a doubt. It's not like you go up against some opponent that you're 2-1. I mean, they might be underdogs, but it's not like you feel like you can't beat them in a series.
Here's what I think it reminds me of, and I hate that it reminds me of this, by the way. The 2023 Detroit Lions. Where going into the playoffs, you felt like, okay, the Lions win a playoff game here. They haven't done it in this long. We're going to feel pretty good. And all of a sudden, the path is laid out for you after the Lions beat the Rams, when everyone kind of thought the Rams were the team to beat. Oh, man, wait, they're playing Baker Mayfield in round 2? They're going to beat them. Oh, they're up by 2 touchdowns at halftime, about trip to go to the Super Bowl. They might be able to go to the Super Bowl.
They might be able to win it.
And that's what's being laid out right now for the Pistons. It was like, okay, win a playoff series, check that. And obviously, the Pistons were the 1 seed, so it's a little bit different. But check that off. Like, the number one goal of this playoffs was just win a playoff series, right? Get that monkey off your back, because it had been so long. So once you did that, it was like, okay, boom. Oh, Cleveland is just like falling apart all of a sudden. We're up 2-0. Oh, wait, the team that everybody thought that was going to be the juggernaut in the East has lost, and it's the Knicks waiting for you in the Eastern Conference Finals potentially. And I just don't want to have another, like, that was the year type of feeling, because that's all we think about with the Lions, right?
Yeah, because remember the Buccaneers the week before beat the Eagles. And it was like, the Eagles are gone. Conference is there to take.
100%. And that's kind of how it's playing out right now. And think about the quote we always go back to with Dan Campbell talking about after that game. Like, that might have been our only shot. Because it's so hard to get back there.
Because Boston's going to be better next season. There's not really reason as of right now, unless there's an injury, to think that the Knicks are going to be worse. They still have that core.
100%.
They kind of caught lightning in a bottle
here.
The
Cavs
but they'll still
might make
have
a
that
crazy
core.
move if they end up falling to Detroit, just to get back into things and keep Donovan Mitchell around. Of course, Indiana's going to be back.
Yeah, that's the big one. It's right there for the Pistons to take.
It is. And so that's where I'm struggling, because I understand your point of view of like, hey, the expectation should be changed just based off of what has happened in this playoffs. And it's so difficult to get back to an NBA Finals. I mean, look at this. I understand it took a massive injury for Indiana. Them dudes was in the finals last year, and now they're getting trashed by their own fans because they don't have a first-round pick in a year that they won 20 games.
Yeah.
Like, just
no
like
guarantee
that,
you
it can
get back.
change. Absolutely. And so that I'm getting eerie vibes to that. Of course, they have to get by Cleveland in this round. And I think everyone believes it would be a disappointment if you don't beat Cleveland. Mm-hmm. You're the 1 seed. You won 60 games. You got to win 2 playoff series. You win 60 games. I mean, come on. So
I'm sure there's a small audience of people out there, though, that have thought, well, the whole goal of this, like, I think even Trajan Langdon before the year and the Pistons, front office would tell you the goal of this year is just to win a single playoff series and find out as much as possible about the core and who we want to pay and who we don't want to pay. And just based on, like, boom.
Yes.
That goal has been accomplished already.
that goal was made preseason. I would agree with it. I think that was my goal. And then they won 60 games.
Right.
Like, I don't think anybody expected them to win 60 games, not even them. They can sit there and say, oh, yeah, we believe in this team. But, like, them winning 60 games changes things. I do believe, yes, going in, you wanted to win a playoff series. But that they told us that straight to our faces at the trade deadline, right? Mm-hmm. Not making any moves to be buyers. Like, their goals didn't change. They wanted to figure out who was a part of this squad going forward, who is a part of the core, and can they win a playoff series? Boom, they did that. And I think they've probably figured out who's a part of the core. I still think the Jalen Duren situation is going to be kind of odd this offseason. I think he's a part of the core. What price is he at a part of the core? That's going to be the odd part. So, yeah, now that the way that you laid it out for me, it just made me think of the 2023 Lions.
I think it's a good comparison. There's a lot of parallels.
I don't like it, though. I don't like that that's the comparison, because think about where we're at with the Lions now. Like, that was their best chance.
And what do I always say about the trade deadline that year? It's like, I know this is
Jones.
I always say, I know this. I think Brian Holmes' mindset in the 2023 deadline was, I don't want to trade away a ton of draft capital. This is the beginning of our window. I don't think he knew at the time that was going to be his best chance. When I look back and I'm like, man, Montez Sweat was there for the taking and could have made a big difference in that NFC Championship game across from Aiden Hutchinson. I look at, like, Ayo Dosunmu playing for the Timberwolves right now.
Who had another great game last night.
Could have made a huge difference for this Pistons team, helping out a different playoff team in the other conference. So let's gauge the temperature in the room. For this Pistons team, Game 5 is tonight. What constitutes success for this year's Pistons team? Have they already achieved that? If not, what do they have to do in order for you to be completely 100% satisfied with this season? If you want to shoot all the way to the finals, go ahead. I'm here for it. But I can't go as far as they'll win a finals. I just can't do it. They get to a finals, no matter what happens, I'll be happy, is where I've landed on things. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here live on 100.9 The Minute. You got one last chance to move the goalpost. The 9 o'clock hour here is brought to you by Iron Stack Technology. You know, we talk about the game plan a lot on this show, the execution of it. That's how Iron Stack approaches IT. They help businesses stay secure, efficient, and ready for what's next so you can focus on your mission instead of your technology. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. You can check them out online at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Chance to move the goalpost one last time for this Detroit Pistons team. I want to ask everyone, what is the goal for this team? What constitutes success? Where are you at in terms of, okay, I'm 100% satisfied with this season. For me, it has to be get to the finals. And I think there is a good amount of people out there that have a good argument that would make the case they've already accomplished that. Or all they have to do is beat the Cavs, and that works. But for me, it's like, man, there's going to be a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth if they lose to the Knicks again in the postseason. After all regular season, we were saying, we've got this team's number. We're going to be able to beat them in a postseason. We were all hoping and praying and crossing our fingers that the Pistons were going to match up against the Knicks in the playoffs because we felt so confident in that. And for that reason...
And I think just to get back, right? I mean, we just want it.
Correct. For that reason, I think it has to be a step further than just winning this Cavs series based on the opponent that is in front of you waiting in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'll take it as far as go to the NBA Finals. That's, for me, what constitutes success. A fully satisfied season.
And it's just, I hate to, continuously bring this up, but, the reason why I'm not is just history tells you that should never be the goal of a team like the Pistons. You know, it should never be your goal to get to the finals in your first year of success in the playoffs because it's a very unachievable goal. So that's the reason why I feel that way. Now, obviously, the matchup makes you feel otherwise. It being the Knicks makes you feel differently. Now, I think we move a little bit too past we lost to the Knicks in the playoffs last year. We did lose to them. I understand the regular season, we kind of punked them a little bit, but, we also got punked by the Cavs in the regular season. And we got off to a pretty good start against them. I get it's 2-2 right now, and tonight's a really pivotal game. But I just feel that the Knicks did take care of business against us last year in the playoffs. And a main reason for that was Karl Anthony Towns absolutely destroyed Jalen Duren. Mm-hmm. The bigs matchup there was just, it was gross. And Cat has been awesome in the playoffs for the Knicks so far. And Jalen Duren, I mean, we've spent enough time talking about how opposite of awesome he has been for Detroit. So I don't want to be going into the Knicks series, oh, they're going to beat the Knicks. They're going to beat them. I feel confident, and I'm with you in the fact that I would have a sour taste in my mouth they lose to them. Because I don't want to lose to them again. That's mainly what it is. I don't like the Knicks. Nobody likes the Knicks.
I'm with you. By the way, winners of Game 5, when the series is tied 2-2, 85.4% of the time they go on to win the series.
Yeah, and I would imagine that you're not going to be able to find a stat for this because it's probably too difficult, but the team that has the 2 home games that wins Game 5, that's got to be an extreme highly percentage, because the Pistons you're essentially playing a best 2 out of 3, and you have 2 home games, and you're playing against a team that can't win on the road. You feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the series probably goes 7 because there's just no evidence that a road team's going to be able to pick up a win here. I love that though. The home court advantage is back.
2 Game 7s? What if we get that?
For a while, then I'm really concerned about the Knicks series. For a while, it felt like there was no home court advantage in the NBA. It just was somewhat irrelevant. And the Pistons and Cavs are shutting down that narrative that it very much matters.
Which is that
the
a good thing?
Celtics, on the other hand,
not being able to win, is that a good thing? Protecting home court, yes. Not being able to win a game on the road?
Well, I mean, they won
pretty concerning.
2 road games in the.
They won 1
in the Orlando. The one, yeah,
and they also were down by 25 at one point in that game. So Pistons definitely have not performed well on the road. That's for sure.
Yeah,
but the Cavs have been the only team that's worse.
Yeah, and I don't know. They played pretty well in New York last year. That's where they got all their wins.
Good point.
Where they got their 2 wins.
And I think Cade
has just in general played pretty good in Madison Square Garden in his career.
I think it's just a Madison Square Garden thing, though. I think that that almost plays a anti-factor for the Knicks because dudes go there and it's I'm an MSG. I am going to have a career game here.
Yeah.
It just has a different type of it brings out the opponents more when it should put them down, which is one of the weirdest things ever. Kevin in our YouTube chat says making the conference finals has to be the goalpost. This is the mirror image of 2003. They are one more piece away from the final. Gallup house money is the next round.
Okay, that's fair. You know what else is funny about that 2003 season where they came back 3-1 against Orlando? And now they're doing it again, 23 years later?
Yeah.
They were also tied in the second round against the Sixers, 2-2, home court advantage, and then they won the next 2 games. So if history is truly repeating itself from the 2023 season, Pistons win tonight and then close it on the road, Game 6. And then that would mean what? This series starts on Sunday? I believe that would mean. It'd go Friday, Sunday. Only one day off in between, and the Knicks just have this massive advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also the only difference between that series is they just had 2 different coaches, or that Pistons team, 03 to 04. They just switch coaches in between those seasons. That's not going to happen with this team.
Maybe we'll switch centers.
Maybe we'll get our Rasheed Wallace.
Not impossible. And I'll throw that out there. Not impossible that they have a new starting center next year. David says Eastern Conference Finals, so he agrees with Kevin. No way a 60-win team can lose in the second round. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get too many. I'm right in the fact that preseason, I think all the Pistons people thought, you win a playoff series, you have the 1 seed. That's a tremendous success no matter how the rest of it plays out. But yeah, now that you have been the 1 seed and you got up on a 2-0 lead, you got to win this series at the very minimum.
It'd be different if this was a mid-2010s Eastern Conference where LeBron and the Cavs were just the 4 seed and you're facing a fraudulent 1 seed. That'd be a little different. There is none of that, though. You're facing Donovan Mitchell, who looked like LeBron James last game.
Scott says this season has already been a success. Sure, I want them to keep winning, but the rest is a bonus accomplishment. So he's kind of going, I think this is kind of what the Pistons front office would say, too, to be quite honest.
And maybe that is the mindset that the fan base should take because it's what the front office is implementing.
Yeah, but you got a little taste of it. Now you want more. That's just how this thing is going to work from the fans' side of things. And I'm right with the fans. I want a little bit more than that. I want a little bit more than just winning 2 playoff series or 1 playoff series.
Especially when it's right there in front of your face, man. It's so easy to think about, next year and going forward, this is their chance. And then, like we said, you look at what has happened in the team right across the street at Ford Field. They did the same thing. It's not like it was any of their fault, but it's what happened to them. The fans of this city have experienced that recently, and you don't want to experience it again with another team.
Luckily, they do play in the East. If the Spurs or the Thunder were waiting in the conference finals, wrap it up. You win 2 games, you make it to the semis, or you make it to the conference finals. You know who I would be mad about? Awesome.
If I was the Minnesota Timberwolves, I would riot.
Yeah, they'd be the favorites in the East, I think.
They would win the East every year, and they're not even in the West. They're not even a West team. Just so dumb.
Brian's just going all the way. Win the chip by sweeping New York and OKC. Anything else is a total colossal failure. I mean, come on. What are we talking about?
You have to sweep them? Come on, Brian. What are we doing? I will say, though, am I a psychopath to think that they might have a shot against the Thunder? Am I a psycho for thinking that?
Slightly, yeah.
I almost think they don't have any chance against San Antonio, even though
I'm with you there.
I still just think the Thunder make the finals. I just don't think the Spurs will beat them. But am I crazy to think they might have a chance against the Thunder? I don't know. It depends. I mean, I'm super excited.
Will I convince myself of it? Absolutely.
Oh, for sure. But do I actually truly believe it?
Probably not.
But maybe I do.
I would just continue to go back to what happened last year. It's no one gave the Pacers a chance, and they pushed them to 7 games, and it took Tyrese Halliburton tearing his Achilles in Game 7, the opening 3 minutes for the Thunder to win.
And the Thunder are likely going to be coming off of a series against, even if it does end up being the Timberwolves, but let's just say likely it is the Spurs.
It's a bloodbath.
That's going to be one of the better series we've had in years. And
go ahead, finish. I'll wait.
Go for it.
And their second best player from last year is just not playing right now. And is dealing with a hamstring injury, and Jalen Williams.
I would say third best player, but
sure,
but yes,
second best player last year.
Oh,
is what
okay,
I said,
yeah. Good point. He's just been out the whole time.
I don't think it's impossible. I would still say it's unlikely, though. Very unlikely. They've just got too many guys to throw at Cade.
Imagine how fast Asar Thompson gets in foul trouble in that series. OMG.
And Duren. I'm
going to freak out. I'm going to freak out next series against Brunson. Can they just beat the Cavs? I got to stop thinking about all this.
Let's go one more text from Gary. So the Pistons are already successful this season. They are giving great effort with the talent that they have. The roster will be different next year, but for now, we should enjoy the fight, effort, and game. Detroit basketball. So I guess I am a little bit surprised that there is a good amount of fans saying they've already kind of achieved their goals for this season, which I do think is true. But if I'm presenting the opportunity to move the goalposts further back, are you taking that? I'd say about half of our texters are saying no. This is a successful season. Next year's the year.
Well, I don't disagree with people saying this, but I do think if you are openly saying like this season has already been a success, you're just not confident they can go to the finals then, right? Because you've already just accepted this season is what it is. They've won a playoff series. They might win a second. Wow, what a pretty good year. Next year's the year they can do it. That's what that screams to me, right? That means you just don't think they're going to go to the finals. Because if you thought they were going to go to the finals, then the goal is that.
My biggest concern and holdup in people saying that they've already made it is your Lions point. Or they've already had a successful season is your Lions point. Oh, next year's the year. They'll add somebody else to the roster this offseason. Guess what? So will Boston. Giannis could be on Boston for all we know next year. The Knicks could end up making a giant move and upgrading even more. Like, you just never know what's happening around you.
Any injury is possible to happen. Like, no one wants to talk about it, but, like, it is. It's just when the situation is presented in front of you.
When it's within arm's reach.
Yes.
And it is.
I have nightmares and deja vu of that mindset because all of the people who root for the Pistons and the teams in this city experienced it 3 years ago. We did the same exact thing with the Lions, and you almost take it for granted when it's that close, when it's right in front of you. You know, I convinced myself 8 hours after the 49ers loss, well, they'll be back next year. I'd already gotten over it. They'll be back. They're going to get over this. And then think about that now. It's just, you just never know. And that's the most scary part about all of this.
You know, to the OKC point, can they beat OKC? We got a great text from Chris in Vegas via Lansing. Says, absolutely no. The Lakers were solid favorites against the 0-4 Pistons. OKC is tough, but certainly not unbeatable. Yeah, I'd have to look this up, but I think the 2004 finals was one of the biggest upsets in the history of the finals in terms of the betting odds, like before the finals started, in terms of the Lakers being such heavy favorites against the Pistons.
Pretty
the
sure,
Pistons
yes.
were able to get it done.
Yeah, in the 2004, don't take my word for it, this is a AI overview on Google. The Lakers were massive betting favorites at minus 700 in the 2004 NBA Finals.
Yeah, that's about as crazy
Pistons
as
were
it
plus
gets.
500 to win the finals. That's unbelievable.
I'm trying to think of what the Pacers were last year.
The
I don't think it was
Pacers
quite that bad.
It was pretty it was pretty wide though.
Even when it was like a 2-2 series, it was like
they won game one, right? I believe Indiana won game one of the finals last year.
Yeah, and OKC was still favored, I believe is how it played out. So yeah, I think that's a good point. You never know what's going to happen. I still really worry about what the offense looks like outside of Cade Cunningham. And I think they struggle to score on a guy like Chet down low.
Yeah, they were
way too far ahead of ourselves right now.
They were minus 250 going into the series, so not as bad as we may have thought.
Okay. 989-837-6125. Let's do one more text. Says, if we are still a year away, what's the need? Shooting guard, wing, this might be as good as it gets. I think there would be two. I think you could go a handful of different ways with like what your quote-unquote need is. Another guard that could handle the ball and space the floor is probably the most ideal thing that you could find. But just like another star player like a Lauri Markkanen is also like I think fits the bill. I don't think they necessarily need one specific thing as much as they just need some sort of jolt on offense.
They just need scoring. Yeah. Like it doesn't even have to necessarily be a spacer. They just need, as long as like a guy like Duncan is still on the team, they need some sort of scoring. But I do agree in the fact that like this might be as good as it gets. Like, yeah, Tobias is up for a new deal. Jalen Duren is up for a new deal. Asar Thompson's rookie extension might be coming. Like they're going to start entering a weird cap situation. That's for sure.
Another texter says, we made it. We know we are better. If Cade stops turning the ball over, Duren needs to play like regular season Duren, Stewart too, then they're going to pick up a win. I'm worried about Stewart. I don't know if that guy can play. He looks
he hasn't
like
been playing.
He looks like he can't move.
He gets one run a game. And now, like, JB, I think is going to be in a spot where he has to play Paul Reed tonight.
Paul Reed needs 20
play
minutes.
at all?
I don't think so.
He might not.
He can't. It looks like he can't move.
He might get one little like end of a quarter 3-minute run in the first, and that's it. I can see that.
Through 4 games, he has 0 blocks, 0 steals.
After having 8 in one of the games against the Magic?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with him. But Eric Vincent, who represents Clutch Points, with the Detroit Pistons, beat writer for them. Yeah, he's going to join us in the 11 o'clock hour, so we'll get his thoughts on that as well. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We are live here on 100.9 The Minute. The show, as always, is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, the experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you have a leaky roof, storm damage, siding looking a little tired, Bresky has you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
So obviously Jalen Duren has struggled in a big-time way. I want to ask to those out there who remember it all, what is the biggest Detroit sports postseason disappointment from a single player that has ever existed? I unfortunately don't remember a ton of them. Mine would be, Skubal comes to mind. 2 different elimination games he's on the mound. I know neither of them were necessarily his fault, but it's just sour taste in the mouth nonetheless.
Are you talking individual player-wise or as a team? Just an individual player?
Yeah, I collected a bunch of them from
Skubal?
people.
Oh, we're not doing Skubal, right? He was good in the game against Seattle.
A lot of postseason stuff from the Detroit
No,
teams.
you're right. But, I get he was on it was not his fault they lost to Seattle. That's for sure. Now, the Cleveland one, giving up the grand
5
slam.
5 hits, 4 earned runs. He's 3 for 3 in the playoffs. That's the most disappointing part. I don't think it's him. I don't think the answer's him.
No, absolutely it's not him.
But he is 3 for 3 in the playoffs. Sorry, I don't think he's worth $400 million. I collected what a lot of people thought because we asked on socials. So let's run through a couple of them. During 2026 playoffs, got a lot of answers. Rightfully so. I don't even think that's prisoner of the moment. I think the fall off that Duren has had is truly up there for one of the biggest disappointments, considering he was an all-star. Justin Verlander, 2012 World Series, got thrown around a couple of times. And I went and refreshed my memory as to how bad it was. 4 innings pitched, 5 runs, 2 home runs. Not great. I'd argue. Not his fault, though, because if you look at the last 3 outings before that, 121 pitches, 122 pitches, 132 pitches. Those were the 3 outings for Verlander before they got to the World Series. So, yeah, I guess it makes sense that he ran out of gas at the end.
Game 1 starter, too, right? I believe Verlander was in that series.
Yeah, because he never pitched again.
Yeah, it's hard to blame a sweep on a guy who only competed in 1 of the 4 games.
And
disappointment, though, sure,
not just
got him there.
Got him there, and also had thrown near 400 pitches in 3 starts leading up to that game. It makes sense that he fell apart at one point. You know who you would blame for that? A name I got thrown around a couple times was Leland. A, you left Verlander out there too long. B, 2012, the year, this would have been 2013, not intentionally walking David Ortiz. I saw that one get thrown around. You don't typically walk guys with the bases loaded, but
that's the one that that's the part that I just can't. You're not going to walk the guy.
It's David Ortiz, though.
You're not going to walk the guy. The game was tied, right?
No, you were up by 3 runs. You lost that game 5-4.
No, sorry, but you would have made it a 1-run game. How many outs was there?
No, you were up by 3.
Oh, you're right. I'm getting it confused. You're not walking in a run intentionally.
I think looking back, obviously, revisionist history. Yeah, you do. You're up by 3 runs.
If AJ Hinch did that, Ben, you that would be your lead the next day.
Not if they got an out. They had 2 outs. You walk to avoid the Hall of Famer, the power bat, and then you just deal with whoever was batting 5 that day, and hope that he doesn't hit some a triple to clear the bases. That's the only way you blow the lead, is a grand slam in that situation. So he got thrown around a couple times for biggest postseason disappointment. You know who else got thrown around? Ty Cobb. This is crazy. Listen to this. So he, for his career, has a 336 batting average, a 366 batting average, which is either the first or second best of all time, depending where you look. If you ask him, he'd tell you it's the first. In the playoffs, his career batting average drops to 262. It drops a full 100 points. This guy was a choker. Ty Cobb, certified playoff choker. I couldn't believe he got thrown around. I was like, no way. And then I saw that stat. I was like, yeah, I don't think any of our listeners are, without a doubt, none of our listeners remember watching Ty Cobb. But geez, man, his average dropped a whole 100 points by the time the playoffs rolled around every year. Good God.
Without a doubt, none of our listeners listen to Ty Cobb. Yeah, no doubt there.
Prince Fielder 2013 got thrown
Ty
around.
Cobb got no rings either, man.
No rings.
Come on, one of the greatest ever, got no rings? Come on.
Prince Fielder 2013 playoffs. He goes 11 games, 0 home runs, a 561 OPS. Ugh. Really bad.
That one's not like bad either because they immediately moved him as well. Like it was one of those things where he had the bad playoffs and they recognized, okay, we got to switch things up. And they made the trade for Kinsler. And obviously it really worked out for Detroit. But yeah, that one's a pretty good one.
Josh Reynolds got brought up probably more than anybody else.
Ooh, really good one. See, that's different though because like disappointment means that at one point you were like, awesome. Josh Reynolds was never awesome, but he was the picture boy of I show up and I'm consistent. I don't drop the ball.
I mean, he had 3 drops in 17 games in the regular season.
I'm the man. Like I don't mess up. And then just had 2 of the worst drops. The one on 4th down, I will just never ever get over. I have never rewatched that play. Never once in my life.
Both to move the chains too, which would have just, I mean, it would have sent the Lions to a Super Bowl. Not built for the moment, Josh Reynolds. I think we found that out.
Certainly not.
Reliable until the moment's a little bit too bright for our guy, Josh Reynolds.
The lights are too bright, man, like Jared Allen said.
And then Goff versus Washington, I saw got brought up a handful of times. 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions, 1 fumble. I don't know if I necessarily blame that game on him, though, because, yeah, the 4 turnovers is really bad. I'm still like 110% convinced he was concussed. And you can't convince me otherwise.
Well, then if I can't convince you, then what's the point of talking about it?
With the Luvu hit on his helmet, that was the fumble one.
I think Goff could have been awesome in that game and they lose.
Yeah, the defense gave up 45 points.
Washington's offense couldn't be stopped. Like Goff could have been insane in that game and it wouldn't have mattered. But that is a good one, though, because Goff was really bad in that game.
I would say Ben Johnson more than Jared Goff. You had Jamison Williams throwing deep balls.
I mean, I don't know, though. Maybe Goff, it's a good point. Maybe Goff is to blame, though, because the second Teddy Bridgewater came in the game,
J-Mo scored a
touchdown.
A trick play. What would you say is the biggest playoff disappointment, though, if I gave you those, all of those, or you can answer another one? Jalen Duren, Justin Verlander in the World Series, Josh Reynolds in the NFC Championship, Tarik Skubal Game 5, 2024 against Cleveland, Ty Cobb's just entire postseason careers, apparently a huge disappointment, Prince Fielder 2013, Goff versus Washington, or Leland for not intentionally walking David Ortiz.
I'll quickly just throw out, Chris in our YouTube chat says, guys, Scott Mitchell was atrocious in the playoffs in both 95 and 97. Terrible stats, multiple interceptions in 2 first-round lopsided losses. Google it. Yeah, that's a good one because that was also like the Lions' like taste of playoff action with Barry. So, sure. But for me, if the options that you give me there, if the Pistons flame out, Duren probably has to be the answer. Just from like you want to talk about a drop. You want to talk about a drop from regular season to postseason.
Scoring cuts in half.
It doesn't get much worse than this.
The rebounding's non-existent some nights. Lack of effort.
Oh, man, we got Cavs fans taking over our YouTube chat. This isn't good.
Saying what?
Cleveland. Cavs in 6. Cavs coming back to Cleveland 3-2.
How many different accounts?
It's just this one guy.
Wow.
It's just Rob.
Rob, appreciate you being
thanks for tuning in, Rob. But the Cavs are going down tonight, Rob. Anyways, I will say my answer will be I'll go with Fielder. I'll go with Prince Fielder.
It's pretty bad, man. 561 OPS through 11 games.
And it's like he was like the big power bat that they added to, like him and David Ortiz, kind of like a similar archetype, and Ortiz just dominated him, so obviously he's a better player all time, no doubt about it, but
got another one that said people are going to use it, but Barry Sanders in the offensive line didn't have the greatest playoff games either. That makes sense, though. You play good defenses in the playoffs. They tend to be able to shut down your one-dimensional offense. Adds up. I don't think I blame Barry. I wasn't around, but I don't think he's like a playoff disappointment.
You know what? Actually, the one that scarred me the most was Ty Cobb. I remember the 1911 playoffs. Man, that one scarred me for life.
That is kind of nuts, though. You're first in average in your entire career at 366, and your average in the playoffs drops to 260. That
you're
is
a
like
360 hitter in your career,
right? That's worse than the Duren drop. I'll tell you that.
Ty Cobb getting a lot of lot of talk on the show this week. We brought him up the other day, too.
We did?
Yeah,
In
remember?
what context?
About Savannah Banana.
Oh, he would not like Savannah Banana Bowl, no. Real quick, let's hit the news.
The Mitts Morning Catch.
Okay, we got to let the people know really quickly that the Pistons game versus the Cavs tonight, it's at 8 p.m. It's on ESPN as well, so I think we should be getting the Mike Breen crew, which that's exciting. Yeah, at 8. You like this 8 versus 7? Which one do you prefer?
7. I mean, these games end very late. It's like by the time these games
Very
end...
late?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I like to be in bed by 11. 8 o'clock prevents that from happening most of the time.
I will say I prefer the 8 p.m. start tonight because there's a Loons game here, and so hopefully that will be close to over by the time the Pistons game starts. Yeah, Pistons are 4.5-point favorites tonight. That's basically been the line for every home team in this series so far. Vegas has nailed it so far in this series, and let's just hope they continue to nail it because the Pistons are about 5-point favorites tonight. Let's look at the community calendar presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. It's Wednesday. You know what that means? The Midland Area Farmers Market is right back there in the back of Dow Diamond if you want to go check them out. They are there till 1 p.m. today. Haven't really talked about it much. We mentioned it, but the Spurs last night take a commanding 3-2 lead, a 30-point victory in Game 5. This was a really weird game because the Spurs went up early. They got up to a big-time lead. And then the Timberwolves came back and almost tied this game up. And then the Spurs just blew it out again. Huge win. Really hope that's what the Pistons do tonight because they haven't had one of these major blowout wins yet. And there's been a lot of them in the playoffs. I would really enjoy that.
It feels like the Pistons haven't taken a commanding lead in the first quarter of any of these games against the Cavs so far.
Well, in games 1 and 2, they did. Games 1 and 2 in the first half, they had huge leads in both of them. And the Cavs were able to come back in both of them. So they just came back in the fourth quarter, which made you kind of bite your nails a little bit. So,
yeah, I wouldn't mind a blowout tonight. I don't think anybody would.
I'm with you there. We had some other NBA news yesterday. The Philadelphia 76ers have let go of general manager Daryl Morey. They're going to keep Nick Nurse as their head coach. Not really shocking news here, but Daryl Morey is, of course, one of the more well-known president of basketball operations, GMs, whatever you want to call him, names in all of the sport. Been a very innovative guy. He did it with Houston, obviously, with James Harden. He brought James Harden back to Philly. Didn't work out there. I'm assuming he's not done, but Philly is looking to switch things up after their embarrassing sweep in round 2.
Yeah, I mean, the wheels fell off the bus on that one. So it's not surprising that they want to. They got to throw somebody under the bus or blame somebody for the wheels, coming off. So they'll blame the mechanic who built the bus.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
We can save the rest for later. I do want to tell you, though, last night, Cal Raleigh, who you've just continued to trash all year, you've been right about that. He broke an 0 for 38 slump last night.
What are his...
0 for 38, man. We're talking about one good thing about the Tigers. Dylan Dingler, all-star case, got better last night with that home run. So it's pretty good.
Cal Raleigh this year is hitting 166 with a 537 OPS. He's a 537
On
OPS.
the year?
Yeah. 537 OPS. I'm sorry, 573 OPS with 7 home runs. Has this guy never drawn a walk?
He's been terrible.
Best catcher in the American League. Plays for the Tigers. That's crazy, man. 55 strikeouts and 18 walks. Yikes. Not good. All right. Tarik Skubal, contract when we come back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
You step up to life's challenges. Covenant Healthcare helps you stay one step ahead. As the most preferred health system for orthopedics, we're leading the way with next-generation treatments like robotic-assisted joint replacements, advanced expertise for complex trauma injuries, and a personalized approach to sports medicine. With the largest
Easy Electric Studios. This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mit. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
We got the Pistons Game 5 tonight. We've got the Lions playing the Patriots in Germany. That's a schedule that has been leaked. We'll get to more on the international schedule a little bit later on in the show when we do Around the League, plus a lot more to dive into with the Lions schedule tomorrow. I do want to present to our audience a Tarik Skubal deal. And I know people maybe are a little bit sick of hearing about this, but what's the alternative? You want us to talk about that Tigers game from last night? I didn't think so. I don't really think that Tarik Skubal is worth $400 million anymore. And that's the way that this has always been positioned by Scott Boras, who is the best agent in the game. But I don't think a 29-year-old who is going to be 30 by the time next season starts, he turns 30 in November, considering his age, considering the fact that he's had not one but two Tommy Johns plus this surgery that he's underwent last week. So 3 surgeries on his elbow, plus the fact that he's 30, plus the fact that there's a potential lockout coming, and who knows, maybe a salary cap is put in as well. I don't think there's a single player in Major League Baseball that's worth a 10-year, $400 million contract anymore, if they are to go forward with the salary cap. Specifically, not a pitcher who only goes one of every 5 days, has had 3 surgeries on his elbow, and is 30 years old. Your hand is up.
Counter. I think I would pay Shohei Ohtani that.
He's an anomaly. He's an exception.
That's a single player?
Sure.
Right?
Sure. Let's put that over there. I don't think he's worth the $400 million anymore after this injury and with this looming offseason. I think a lot of things are working against Tarik Skubal right now. So I put together a mock deal that I wanted to get some people's thoughts on. And there was a lot of pushback when I posted it on the Mits Facebook page. The option is, or the deal is 3 years, $150 million. So he becomes one of the highest paid AAV players in baseball. $50 million every season. Here's the catch. Every year, he gets an opt-out. Every single year, there's a player option. So 2027, $50 million player option. 2028, $50 million player option. 2029, $50 million player option. The contract really would just end. Who says no to this deal? Because let's just face it, like if all this stuff is adding up and no one's going to want to pay a $400 million contract as you're heading into a lockout, what's the alternative for Tarik Skubal? You sign the 10-year $30 million or $300 million contract. $360 million contract is kind of where the record is with Yamamoto and Garrett Cole. Or do you bet on yourself once again, try to put together a full season, and similar to the Alex Bregman contract that he signed with the Red Sox last year, it's just like, hey, man, I'll sign up for this quote-unquote 3-year deal, but every year that goes by, I get to bet on myself that if my stats are good enough, someone's willing to just come give me a big-time offer. I can just hop back into free agency at any point. This is very reminiscent of what Michigan fans had to deal with Jim Harbaugh for the last, 5 years he was there. Every offseason there was the headache of, I don't know. I really hope we can keep Jim Harbaugh. And it got really annoying after a while. And with Tarik Skubal, it'd be the same thing. After every single October, you'd have to think, man, here we go again. The circus of Tarik Skubal. Is he going to stay? Is he going to leave? Is someone going to offer him a big-time contract? Because if he does, goodbye, Tarik Skubal. But guess what? It's Tarik Skubal. I think he's worth every penny of that. I think he's worth the headache. If you can get him on it wouldn't even be a discount because he'd still be making the $50 million a year, which is probably more so than he'd get anyway. You're actually paying more per season, but it's not the long-term 10-year deal that he's always seeked out, that he's been in position to get up until the loose bodies thing came out and he had to get surgery on his elbow again, even though it was the greatest surgery in the history of surgeries and he's the most operatable elbow in the history of operatable elbows. All this stuff may be true. What else is true? 30 years old, potential salary cap, lockout coming, and has had 3 surgeries on his elbow. I don't think he's worth the $400 million anymore. So I ask you, Kyle, even though there's a lot of pushback on the Facebook page, that he would be, like a lot of people saying, oh, who says no to this? Scott Boras says no to this. I really don't think the market is $400 million 10 years anymore with all those things that are working against him right now. So would you sign up for a 3-year, $50 million every single year, $150 million in total contract with Tarik Skubal if it meant every offseason you have to deal with Tarik Skubal can leave at any point if someone gives him the big-time contract?
And I'm who? I'm the Tigers in this situation?
You're just give me your thoughts in general.
Well, I mean, I'll first off just say I never thought he was worth $400 million pre-injury. Like, you just don't pay a pitcher this contract. There's a reason why it's never been done. There's a reason why Juan Soto got paid more than Shohei Ohtani did. Because you pay these pitchers who play one of every 5 days. Like, that was always the take pre-injuries. Tarik Skubal is not, you can't pay him $400 million. And I thought I felt like the bad guy defending Chris Ilitch and Scott Harris saying, look, man, I think the offer they gave Tarik Skubal, like, genuinely wasn't that bad. I think
3 years, $100 million. I thought that was a little crazy.
Well, yeah, but, sure, you're right. But I guess looking back at it now, no doubt about it, the years of the projected 10-year, $400 million, that's just what's been thrown out there. No one knows if that's actually what teams are willing to pay. It probably is. The years have been sliced in half for a Tarik Skubal trade or a Tarik Skubal contract in the open market, just based off of the injury. Of course, a lot of this just depends on how he looks like when he comes back, how soon he comes back. If he truly does come back in 6 weeks and is pitching at the same level he was pre-injury, because he was about to win a third straight Cy Young, and honestly, he might.
Seems a little. I don't know. He was fine to start the year.
Who else is better in the American League?
I mean,
he was going to win the Cy Young.
It's very early. That's all I'm saying.
Sure, but he was on pace, is all I'm saying. If he comes back and is pitching at that same level, then I think we probably get right back to near the value we expected. But the years part of it is the big thing. Like, the annual value is probably still going to be the same. It's going to be somewhere from 40 to 50 million. The years is just what matters, and that's, of course, what Skubal and Boris and his camp care about the most. You want to be locked up for as long as possible. It makes you, at the end of your career on a Miguel Cabrera type of contract, it makes you be the winners of that type of contract, no doubt about it. And so, if I'm the Tigers, yeah, this is the best case scenario. Not him getting injured, but like this type of contract where it is an opt-out kind of thing. Any sort of situation where he is on the team next season is a win. Like, it does not matter the situation. It doesn't matter if it's a 1-year deal. You know he's opting out after this year, and then you're going to lose him. Any situation where he's on the team and you get to bring back a core of Skubal and Valdez and a fully healthy offseason Jackson Jobe, like we had talked about going into next season, what is the pitching rotation going to look like? Because not only was Skubal a free agent, Mize is a free agent. And
Flaherty too. Oh no.
Yeah, right. So I never thought he was worth $400 million. I always felt weird defending Chris Ilitch. I just don't think it's that crazy to not want to be paying a guy till he's almost 40 years old, that type of money, who plays one of every 5 days. And we just talked about how much playoff success they've had with him. You know?
You want to know why else I don't think he's worth $400 million? Yamamoto got a 12-year, $325 million, and he's 25 and has never had surgery on his elbow. So why on earth should someone 5 years older than him make $75 more million and he's had 3 surgeries on his elbow? That part of it makes no sense from a market value standpoint. I think this is
it was also the deal Yamamoto got. Like
for never pitching.
He hit the open market as a never pitching in the MLB.
Sure.
You know, like
sure.
It's a little different.
Correct, but that deal ended
up working out. If they could redo that contract, yeah, of course he would be paid much, much more.
Would he? He's the highest paid pitcher in the league.
But, like, compared to, I mean, he's not going to be when Skubal gets paid. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, I just think that the Skubal $400 million in hindsight, like now that we're kind of looking at this, was Scott Harris or Scott Boras positioning it very well and just pushing that narrative out there so much to where now that we're actually like approaching the offseason in which he's going to get paid, you look at all the variables and it's like, I actually don't believe in that number whatsoever.
Yeah,
I think that number was a myth more so than a fact.
I think we're much more likely to see a 6-year, 2 to 250 type of contract for Skubal. And I still think that's going to end up being a win. Now, I do think once he does hit the open market, a team like the Dodgers or the Blue Jays or the Mets, these teams, if they are going to do the short-term contract kind of thing, well, they're just going to offer way more than the Tigers would anyways.
Yeah, here's 3 years with an opt-out every year of $55 million. And they'll just up it.
Right. Something ridiculous. Because a short-term money situation for them is not that big of a deal. It just depends on how much Skubal does truly want to stay in Detroit. Of course, he has acted like he wants to. Who knows if he actually wants to. But that's the weird part about this Skubal injury is there's the opportunity where it turns out as a win for the Tigers, which sounds terrible to say because it's your best player and maybe the best player in the city getting injured. Like, that's never a good thing.
I mentioned the Yamamoto contract. How about Garrett Cole got 9 years, $324 million when he was 29, so 1 year younger. Why is Skubal supposed to? And he had never had Tommy John surgery. And then, guess what? Like, pretty much right away, the Yankees are probably thinking, he hasn't pitched in a year and a half, man. Is the contract really worth it?
Yeah, they have Cam Schlittler. They don't even need him.
Exactly. So why should Skubal, at 1 year older with 3 more surgeries than Garrett Cole had at the time of his signing, get $75 more million? The $400 million number just doesn't make any sense anymore.
It's the years thing. Like the annual value, the $40 million, like that will be paid to him. It's just how long is this deal going to be? Because we've seen a trend of the extremely long deals in baseball, but with a guy like Skubal that has now a repeated history of this and has only had a 2.5-year stretch of being healthy, and now that's over. Like, teams are going to be very skeptical to give him that deal.
989-837-6125. Are you willing to give a short-term deal to Tarik Skubal? 3 years, $50 million, a player option after every deal. The catch is, yeah, he holds your team hostage. Scott Boras holds your team hostage because every offseason you have to deal with, oh, man, I hope we can retain Skubal. And you can't actually plan for the future because you have no idea if he's going to be there every year. That part of it would get annoying. I think it's worth it to have a guy like Tarik Skubal on your team, though.
Would it be more annoying than
the 10-year contract?
Would it be more annoying than what we've dealt with over the last year?
Probably not. It can't be more annoying. It might be equally as annoying,
right.
But I don't think it can be more difficult than everything that Tarik Skubal has made this out to be. So we posted on the Facebook. We got a lot of pushback. Scott Boras would never sign up for this. Guys, I don't think he's worth the $400 million anymore. I don't think he's worth the 10-year contract anymore. He's 30. There's potential salary cap coming. And he's had 3 different surgeries on his elbow. Where Garrett Cole, when he signed his $324 million, guess what? He had 0 surgeries on his elbow. Now he has one. And the Yankees probably, I don't know if they regret giving him that contract, but it's not looking good. He comes back, he probably won't even be their ace. Yet he's out there, making as much money as he is, and he hasn't pitched in a year and a half. Yamamoto.
The Yankees still haven't won nothing.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give John a
That's
shout
the other
there.
thing, too. The Tigers are 3-3 on them when Skubal's on the mound in the playoffs. It's not just some guaranteed win. It's not. So I don't think he's worth the $400 million. If he's willing to come back on the short-term deal, then yeah, I think the Tigers should be all in on trying to pay him. But I'm not going to be mad if he signs an 8-year contract with somebody else. Like, I'm good. I don't need that anymore.
Yep. Brad Holmes, we're good.
So where are you at with this? Who says no? The Tigers?
I think Skubal
Scott
says no.
Boras or Skubal? Is he really getting a better offer than $150 million?
I don't want to say yes or no because I don't know, but I think Boras will push that yes. Like, they will push that, we'll get something better than that. Because that's all they've done. Like, that's been their number one thing. Well, we'll get the 10-year contract, $400 million.
And now that Plan A
was that
isn't
ever
gonna
even
work
on the
out,
table?
That's what I'm starting to really believe. It's just like this was all propaganda the whole time, and
It's always
it
been.
believed us,
Yeah,
and it
it's
took an
always been.
injury happening for us to kind of like shake our heads and be like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense when you look at the market value, when you look at his injury history, when you look at his age. There's no world where he should be getting the $400 million contracts. It shouldn't happen. So I wonder if it was propaganda the whole time. I think it was.
I think it was too.
So is he really getting a better offer than this, than this $150 million contract? Our team's really going to be spooked by this injury. I don't see why not. What is the max he could get? A 5-year,
I think 6. I still think you get a
$300 million
$6-year deal.
contract.
I mean, that would be in 5 for 300.
6-year, $300 million contract.
Yeah, I think the 6-year would be somewhere in the 250 range, probably. But yeah, I mean, it probably could get up to 300. Who knows? $50 million for a pitcher is just,
it's a lot
for 6 years too. It's not like this is the short. Yeah, I don't know.
Or you could just defer it all the way that the Dodgers have all the money because Shohei's just not under contract basically for the next few years.
Yeah,
I mean he is, but they don't have to pay him anything. It's not against the books.
I just still think that like any situation, I had written off Skubal returning to the Tigers.
I think that door's open.
Now I haven't, and that makes me happy, right? Like as long as that's even an opportunity now, because I'd blocked it out. We always talk about putting on the Men in Black glasses.
Yeah, the flash.
I'd just been any sort of Skubal returning, I'd forgotten about it. It's over, and now I didn't see the flash.
That's good. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mitt. We talk about having the home field advantage all the time. Well, if your home or business uses propane, the company with that advantage is Forward Energy. Since 1925, they've been serving our local community with propane and fuel solutions for homes and businesses. Local people, reliable service. That's Forward Energy, part of the home team.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
We'll circle back to the Tarik Skubal conversation here momentarily. Until then, Paula's here from Answer Heating and Cooling. You guys had a pretty cool event last week. Had another one coming up this week. Want to tell us a little bit more about it?
Yes, we had a great open house on Saturday, and we had the Kona Ice, so everybody got free collector cups from Answer Heating and Cooling. So now they can use those year-round anytime they see Kona Ice. I'm even going to send my grandson one in Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
You sent him one in the mail?
Yep. So he can use it down there. They come to the school. So people got free Kona Ice. They came in and won great prizes. The kids were, that was what was really fun, was watching the kids come out with their, if they won a cinch bag and they had it filled with loot, they were all, smiling and happy, and parents, smiling because their kids were having a good time. Again, it's for all ages to come out. We have prizes for everyone.
And there's more coming up.
Yes, we have Traveling Tom's coffee truck tomorrow morning, free coffee, hot cider, or hot chocolate on Answer. In the morning, they'll be in the parking lot from 7 to 9 a.m. So you can also come in and play any of the games you want to, or grab a little literature, whatever. If you have a filter you need to replace, you can get one of those too.
What's your go-to? Hot coffee, hot chocolate?
Me, it's going to be actually the cider.
The cider?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually that's like a fall drink, but right now it feels like fall weather, doesn't it?
I'm not a coffee drinker myself, so the cider will be good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Now you said that was Friday, right?
That's tomorrow, Thursday.
Oh, that's tomorrow.
Yes. And then Friday, we actually have a big Meaty Phillies food truck starting at 11 a.m. They will be there until 6 p.m., and the open house time is 3 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when everybody can come into the office, tour the facility, play all the games, win all the prizes, enter the drawings. Again, we have all kinds of stuff to give away.
Like, what are some of those things? Because I know
Well-
we talked about it last week when you came on.
Yeah.
But just remind the people what is up for stakes and what's up for grabs here if you stop by the open house.
Well, one basket of goodies that we have to give away, I'll just say you have to be 21 to enter that one, okay?
Okay.
Then we have 3 other baskets of good stuff that anybody can enter. We're also giving away free duct cleaning from our friends at Amnesty. We also have the Halo Whole Home Air Purifier that we are giving away. That includes installation. So that's a $1,249 free giveaway.
That's like the grand prize.
Yeah, you guess you could call that the grand prize. But then we have swag from gift cards to Loons tickets.
Really?
Yes. And people were smiling when they came out with that certificate. We also have answer dollars that you could use on filters, or you could buy a carbon monoxide monitor and use the $25 off on that as well.
There you go. Tell me a little bit more about this grand prize that people can win. I know you mentioned the price there, but like, why should someone have one of those inside of their home?
Well, I'll tell you, it really cuts down on illness and even how long you might be sick, because it kills the germs and the pathogens in the air. It goes in your ductwork and works with a gas force furnace in your home. So it eliminates smells, like that closed-in smell. If you go away for the weekend and come home, you don't have that, turn the air on quick. It's a wonderful product. It helps to, it uses technology to clump the little air particles that you might see floating in the window. It clumps those together to make them bigger particles so they catch in the air filter system. So it's a great item. It doesn't need any maintenance except once every 4 years, where you replace the bulbs, and we have been putting those in homes since 2020.
And there's one completely free up for grabs this
Yep.
Friday.
With the installation included.
Wow.
Yeah.
And remind everyone where your office is so they can stop by and potentially participate in this. Get what you said, Philly food truck.
Yep.
That sounds delicious as well. Where can people stop by and get this?
Well, we're right on Midland Road, 8490 Midland Road. So if you're coming south, it's just coming into Freeland. If you're heading north towards Midland, then it's going to be just before you hit the highway. Riverside Restaurant is just down the road from us, and we're on the opposite side.
You guys have a cool little slogan too, SOS.
Yes, SOS. That stands for Simply Outstanding Service. And that really is our mission, to provide simply outstanding service to all of our customers for the next 50 years that we're in business. And we plan on being here. We're going to be here, and we'll continue to service the community.
Because that's the whole reason this open house is going on, right? To celebrate
Yes.
50 years in the business.
Exactly. 50 years, same family, family-owned, oriented, community-involved. That's Answer.
And you've been there about 7 years,
Yes.
if I remember
Yes.
correctly.
Exactly.
7 years. What brought you there?
Well, I've known the Kipf-Miller family for 44 years, and my husband has worked there for 43 years. And it was just a great business. I knew that it was a good place to work, obviously. It happened to fall in my lap kind of at the right time, and I surprised my husband with, hey, guess what? I filled out an application. He's like, what? So we're together 24/7 at a great company. It's a family-oriented business, like I said. So it's just a great place to work.
What are you the most looking forward to about Thursday and Friday's open house?
We love seeing the people come in because a lot of our interaction in the office is over the phone. So just being able to connect with those people and see the face with the name, it's a lot of fun. We get to see those people. They bring their families. They tell us how long they've been using us, and sometimes they sing our old little jingle to us that used to be on the TV commercials. Oh, I'm not a good singer.
Oh, come on.
But it's
have to.
Answer Heating and Cooling. We are your answer.
That's
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's a perfect way to leave things off. Paula, we appreciate you coming on, telling everybody about the cool open houses that you guys have coming up.
All right. Well, thanks so much for having us, and we hope to see everybody out at our open house on Friday.
Give the address one more time.
8490 Midland Road in Freeland.
There we go. That's Answer Heating and Cooling. We'll do a little bit more on Tarik Skubal and his contract when we come back. Got to take trip around the league, go over some of these international games. A lot more coming up in the 11 o'clock hour as well. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mid.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
You know what? With Paula coming in for Answer Heating and Cooling, I totally forgot. It's Big Win Wednesday, thanks to our friends over at Garber Chevrolet. So let's waste no further time. Today we are giving away Loons tickets. No, I'm sorry. That's next week.
Yep,
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. No, today we are giving away $100 worth of gas cards, thanks to our friends at the Forward Corporation.
Man, need those right now, by the way. I mean, you want to talk about a good giveaway this week. Oof.
$100 worth of gas cards. You can fill up your tank one time.
That might not even be enough for one tank for some people, man.
You can use them at any Forward convenience stores around Michigan. $100 worth of these cards. All you got to do is text in the word forward, as in Forward convenience stores. Text in forward, as in forward energy, to 989-837-6125. Big Win Wednesday is made possible every week by our friends over at Garber Chevrolet. We'll pick a winner here in the next 10 or 15 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, so we have our full international game schedule in the NFL, including the Lions, who are taking on the Patriots in Germany week 10. Kyle, I saw this. This got leaked last night, or at least it wasn't confirmed, but there was certainly a rumor that it was going to be leaked. I think they might go undefeated at Ford Field this year. The toughest games that they play are Green Bay, Chicago, Minnesota, and Tampa. Those are the toughest teams that come to Ford Field this year. That's not scary. I don't think any of those teams are Super Bowl teams.
No, they're not.
Their toughest home game of the year is now in Germany, which I guess technically is a home game, but not really. So I don't know, man. I think there's a real chance that they can go 6-1 or undefeated at home this year.
I see both sides to this. I see some fans are like, oh man, the one really fun home opponent they're getting is not even at home.
Sure. That's
I can see that.
You know which fans are saying that, though? The very wealthy fans and season ticket holders that can afford to go to the game.
Go to any games.
Yeah, for me, it's it doesn't matter.
I mean, does it, though? Because then, we can just go watch them play the Jets, and it'll be kind of cheaper.
It won't, though.
Will they be cheaper now that they have, bad opponents there?
No, I think the season ticket prices went up.
Oh.
No, I just think that the days of going into Ford Field for less than $300 is over.
I think the days of going to Ford Field are over. Just in general. I haven't been there in years.
When was your last game? Was it the Ravens one?
No. I went every year for a while. I think 2 seasons ago, the year they went to the NFC title game was the last time I went. I don't think I went last year or the year before.
I went the year they went to the title game as well. I saw them play Minnesota. It was the game Sam Laporta got hurt, I think.
I saw them play Jacksonville that year, and they scored a lot of points against them.
Yeah.
It was J-Mo's debut, actually, and he played 1 snap.
Good. That's really good.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Well, we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, wait, that's not the international schedule. Where's the international schedule?
I got it.
Oh, you got it pulled up already.
Yeah.
Look at
1,
you.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. Ready to go over them?
Yeah, I want to figure out what the best and worst ones are and in between. So just rip them all off right away.
Okay, just say all of them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, week 1, you have Niners-Rams. That game is being played in Australia. Week 3, you have Ravens-Cowboys. That's being played in Rio. That's fun. So the Brazil game gets moved to week 3. Week 4, you have Colts-Commanders. That's being played in London. Eagles-Jags in week 5, also London. Texans-Jags, also London. They're their back-to-back weeks, the Jags are. Of course, they're the team of England. Steelers-Saints in Paris in week 7. Bengals-Falcons week 8. That's in Madrid. Was there a game in Madrid last year?
Yeah.
There was a Spain game last year?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't really remember. Week 10, of course, is the Pats-Lions in Munich. Munich, right, Ben? You're going to get that right this year?
Yep.
And then Vikings-49ers is in week 11. That is in Mexico City.
So a lot of new places this year.
The Niners get 2 of them as well.
That sucks.
Niners-Jags are the 2 teams to get 2 of them. And the Niners have to go to Australia and Mexico.
This Rio game is on a Monday. This is different than Monday Night Football?
Well, I don't
There's
think the
2
Rio
Monday
game.
night
The
games?
Rio game is on Sunday, September 27th.
Oh, yes, you're right. So it's just a regular game that happens to be played elsewhere. It's not even a primetime game? Like, what are we doing?
Oh, yeah, it's just a 425 in Rio.
Yeah.
They have to put it on like some sort of Yeah, but you're right. It's not like a lone standalone game. Yeah. Oh, that is really
What
weird.
is the point of that then? I don't know. I don't understand that. Okay, so
that does feel very pointless.
we have to take into consideration, because then we have to take into consideration where they're being played, crowds, teams, all of it. What's the game that you're the most looking forward to here? I honestly, let's just put the Lions number one. They're going to be number one. They're going to Germany. The Lions will be like the home team. Everyone will like the Lions because of Amon-Ra. That's number one. Is it crazy for me to say this week 1 Australia game is the one I'm the most excited for?
I think it is the answer. Just because, one, like these guys are playing at 10 in the morning in Australia.
Yeah, how's that going to work out?
The game is, it's going to be so weird. So the game is being played on Friday, but it's like it's on Friday.
The international games
here,
are
it's
already
Thursday.
messed up and goofy and weird. Just
They're
now
already
it's
goofy and
international
weird.
and they're playing at 10 a.m.
Like,
what is it going to be 4-3 at the end of the game?
It's already 4-3. It's already weird, but like I've already kind of mastered the Europe games, right? Oh, they're at 9-8. They're always at 9:30 here. Like they're always at 9:30 here. Having to do all the thinking of like when is the Australia game going to be played before they actually announced it was so confusing. And it kind of still is really confusing. It's the reason they're kicking off the season on a Wednesday this year because they have to play this game on a Thursday.
I can't believe this is on a Wednesday.
There's 2 Wednesday games this year. They're doing Blackout Wednesday game, and then they're doing the start of the season on Wednesday.
So they're going to do Blackout Wednesday, Thanksgiving, and that Friday?
I
and
believe.
Maybe a Saturday game?
I believe.
As well?
Yes. Yeah, Schefter tweeted out all like the oddity day games that they're having this year, and there's just so many of them. I think the Rams-Niners one, it's probably the best game. Like, just these two teams in general going up against each other is fun on its own. And it's the start of the season.
It's going to be the weirdest game of the... It's for sure coming down to the...
This is a divisional game. Like, this is way too important of a game for them to be doing this. It really, like, I would honestly be really mad.
They're like test dummies. They're like, let's send them to Australia, and you know what? It's already weird. Let's have them play at 10 in the morning. What could go wrong?
The game is going to be at night on Thursday. It'll be at 8:30 Thursday night, so it really works out. But for some reason, I thought it was going to be at 5 p.m. Oh, it's at 5 p.m. Pacific.
I thought
That's
you just
why.
said it was Wednesday. The game here is Thursday, or the game there is Wednesday.
None of it's Wednesday. None of it's Wednesday.
But there's
Wednesday
a separate game on Wednesday.
The first game of the year is Wednesday.
And it's being played in America. And we don't even know what it is.
Well, it's always the Super Bowl champion. So it'll be Seattle versus somebody to kick off the season that Wednesday night, because they have to do it Wednesday night because the Australia game is weird.
Okay,
This is
whoever
why it's
Seattle
so
plays
confusing.
week 2 is just getting a tremendous disadvantage with Seattle being on an extraordinary long rest week.
Extraordinary is the word
rest
you were
week.
looking for, yes.
Yeah, I mean, whoever Seattle play, like I'm loving that. If I'm Seattle or the other team, and you get to play on Wednesday, that just means you get a bye week, basically week 2.
And we're going to be getting so much of that this season. Like the amount of like, oh, this team is getting screwed over by this because of the scheduling this year is just going to be. There is so. It reminds you of the COVID year when they played a game on. They played a game on Tuesday and Wednesday and every day, Friday, Saturday. They played all these weird games. So, yeah, this is just. It's pretty ridiculous.
The worst game, I mean, for the sake of all the players, is probably the Rio game.
Yeah, didn't they say that was like the one they hated the last couple years?
Yeah, they can't do anything. They can't go anywhere, and the field was god
field,
awful.
yeah.
And they're sending what could possibly happen? We're sending the 2 most injury-prone quarterbacks to Brazil to play on the crappy field. Baltimore and Dallas.
I mean, I don't mind that, though.
And guess
right?
what? It's at 4:25. This is the worst game. I got nothing against Brazil. I think it'd be fun to go visit there. But this is what. There should never be an international game that's not an island game.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Like the fact that this game is, I get because, I mean, actually, I don't get it.
I don't get
why
it
is it
at
not
all.
on its own? Why don't they play it like on a? If you're gonna do all these weird games on a Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever, make it this one. If they're going to Brazil, it's got to be a standalone game. That's the weirdest part of this.
No, realistically, the worst game is Pittsburgh versus New Orleans in Paris, Week 7. That sounds awful.
Hey, Paris, here's Aaron Rodgers versus Tyler Shook. Like, at least you got to send one team there that's, like, interesting.
No.
You can't send two bad teams. Like, at least
even every other matchup that's international, there's, like,
the Madrid one, it's like,
fun.
hey, here's Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. These guys are really fun to watch. Like, at least you get to see that. You have to send one good team at least. Even, like, the week 4, the first London game of the season, Colts versus Commanders. If Daniels is playing, then sure. But outside of that, it's like,
I also get a little bit sad when we lose out. Like, we've got the November 22nd. Is that a Monday night game? Like,
none of these are Mondays. That's a Sunday night.
Sunday night game is, in Mexico, week 11. So realistically,
so
the
that's
Lions...
probably just the Sunday night football game. It's just in Mexico City.
So the Lions have the last, like, true international morning game, week 10.
Yes, they do. Because there isn't another one after that.
I get sad
That's
when
good.
they end. I like the international game. It's like dumb football to just turn on early on. You go to the gym, you're getting whatever errands done. You just have it on your phone. I love it.
Here's what I'll say. I do enjoy that it exists. Like, I do like the fact of, like, oh, I get to wake up and watch football before I actually wake up and watch football. But now that my favorite team is playing in one of them, I think I'm going to hate it. I think I'm going to hate watching my team play in it.
Yeah, when I'm wired at 6
And it's like a
6
huge,
a.m.
this is
ready
a
to go.
huge game. Like, this is...
Yeah,
this
week
is,
10, too. That's...
And it's against the Pats? Will Mike Vrabel be there? Will they let him go to London?
Why wouldn't they?
I don't know. Maybe, like, there's different rules over there about... Come on. Pizza Man in the YouTube chat. All games internationally are stupid.
Okay.
What do you think?
I disagree. I very much enjoy being able to wake up and throw on dumb football and just have that on in the background for a few hours as I'm getting ready for my day. I love it.
Sure, I think what we just did is stupid, though. Like, trying to figure out, oh, wait, this game's in here, and that game's there, and oh, wait, this one is over there, and that one's there, and what time is it? Oh, wait, it's actually 5 o'clock, but it's really tomorrow. What?
I don't know. Hey, we'll pick a winner for our Big Win Wednesday giveaway here in just a moment. Again, you got like 30 more seconds to text in forward, as in Forward Corporation, as in Forward Energy, as in Forward Convenience Stores, for a chance to win a $100 gift card for any Forward convenience store. Need them right now with the gas. So we'll pick a winner here when we come back from break. Big Win Wednesday is made possible every Wednesday thanks to our friends over at Garber Chevrolet. If you're looking for a new car, I can tell you from firsthand experience, Garber Chevrolet in Midland makes it easy. Bought my car there 2 summers ago, and the whole process was extremely smooth. No stress, straightforward. Whether it's a new whip or a quality used vehicle, the team knows how to get you the right stuff and treat you right. Garber Chevrolet, a place you can actually trust to purchase your ride.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The... Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Oh, 989-837-6125. Man, that is good. Okay.
You okay, Ben?
I'm living great right now. For you, I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, yeah. What about, do we have a winner for Big Win Wednesday?
We reached out to our winner. We're waiting for a reply. I'd say if we don't get a reply in the next, we'll be generous today. 20 minutes or so. So if you text in and you didn't win, maybe a half hour goes by. Maybe check your phone.
Pick up the phone,
maybe you win
baby.
again. Yeah, Young Thug said that one time. The youngest of thugs.
I know you're home, baby.
So let's see what people had to say about the Tarik Skubal debate that we were having, because I have a feeling it's going to be more of the same. And it looks like it is. The replies in our text messages are, Scott Boras would never allow this to happen. This is the 3 years, $150 million, opt out after every single season. So it's basically a 1 year, $50 million contract every year. Tarik Skubal can go test himself in free agency every year. The more and more replies we get, the more I see there's no way Scott Boras would allow this. What are you talking about? Tarik Skubal. And I'm like, I'm not trying to push our fans away by any means, or our listeners. I don't hesitate to call them fans. But are we all on the same page that hey, let's just I know the number's been $400 million, 10 years, forever, but let's just take a step back and think about this critically for a second. 3 elbow surgeries. He's going to be 30 years old in November by the time he signs his contract. There's a potential salary cap coming and a lockout. I'm not sure there's any player in baseball, with the exception of Shohei Ohtani, that is worth the $400 million anymore. I don't think that's a thing. And then you look at the other highest paid pitchers in the league, and it's wait, Tarik Skubal's going to make $75 million more than these guys who were both younger at the time of their signings and had no elbow surgeries at all. Garrett Cole, Yamamoto. Both those guys, clean history with their elbows up until they signed those contracts. Yamamoto still has a clean history. Garrett Cole, the Yankees, they give a guy a contract who's never had the surgeries. They give him the massive $324 deal, and it's I don't know if they regret it, but man, he hasn't pitched in a year and a half. Why is Tarik Skubal at a year older, plus 3 elbow surgeries, supposed to get more than those two guys with a potential salary cap coming? I think the market is very much shifting towards something else, and I don't think it's this $400 million contract that we've all been locked in for 2.5 years. I think that's more Scott Boras propaganda. So maybe you're right. Scott Boras does say no to this, but I do want to make sure we're all on the same page as to what we think Tarik Skubal's worth, because I don't think it's the 410 10 years anymore.
Yeah, I don't really know if any team is going to give him that. And maybe it's just the years. 10 years is too much. I think 8 years might be too much. 6 is probably the max he gets. And maybe it's more beneficial to him to do a deal like this, where he can, sign a 3 or 4 year deal that has a year one opt out, just so that he can dominate, have a full healthy year, be potentially the Cy Young next season, and then hit the open market and get an 8-year contract. Right after that, that takes him to the end of his career, because that could happen.
The
I can
Tigers
100%
get him for
see that
one more
happening.
year, and you got to deal with it for a whole nother season of will he not be
Don't
on the
care.
Tigers? Yeah, it's worth it to have him that extra. I'll deal with that forever.
100%.
I'll deal with it every offseason. Oh, will he not be on the Tigers next year? Same way Michigan fans dealt with it with Harbaugh. It's is he leaving? Is he
They're about
not?
to deal with it with Dusty May going forward too.
I'll sign up for it if it means you get the extra year of Tarik Skubal. Without a doubt, just do it. Just. I think the Tigers say yes to that, even though it's $50 million. We do have a texter saying I disagree. Jared says, nope, that's way too much money. $50 million a year for a guy who goes 6 innings? No thanks. There's also that argument. $50 million is a lot of money for a guy who pitches every 5 days and has not been able to stay healthy other than a 2.5-year stretch that just came to an end last week.
And we got to remember, they paid Framber Valdez to be the short-term ace, the bridge between Skubal and Job. They did do that. That's something that they chose to do, assuming that they weren't going to bring back Tarik Skubal. And now this newly risen opportunity has come to the table of Skubal maybe returning. And I think that is something that they didn't really plan for, and that's what throws a wrench in all of this.
Hot dog prices about to be jacked up. the Little Caesars $10 hot and ready, which would still kind of be the best deal that you could get. Most pizza chains.
Yeah, as long as I can still get into the Tigers games for cheap, unlike the Lions and Pistons games right now, that's all I'll take. Jacob saying the big thing is his age. He didn't become a star early like some other pitchers, plus the surgeries. I'm assuming kind of agreeing with your years take.
Yeah, like that's the secret thing about Skubal. It's like he came on the scene and started dominating at the age of he was 27. That's when he got really good, and it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like I don't know who's running to sign that 10-year contract when he's 30 and there's a potential. If there's a salary cap right in it, like he's not getting the $400 million. That's just not happening. No one's willing to give him $40 million a year 10 years from now. That's just not going to happen if there's a salary cap.
No,
Which,
I mean,
I don't know.
You can't have that guy being a large chunk of your cap percentage-wise when he's pitching one every 5 days. Like,
and I don't even know if I want to throw out like any sort of percentage as to what I think there is or isn't going to be a salary cap. Like, I don't think anybody has any idea how this thing's going to play out next offseason.
There's going to be a disagreement, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're heading towards a troubling time, but hopefully there's no games missed. Like, hopefully they get it figured out by the time the season actually comes. The issue is no one's going to be able to sign anybody or train anybody during the lockout, during the offseason. So boring offseason incoming. That's a long ways away, though. Hey, let's jump back into gear on some Lions, on some Pistons. It's all coming up here on the Ben Bosscher Show in the 11 o'clock hour.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on what?
This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, welcome back in. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Minute. Still waiting to hear from our Big Win Wednesday winner. With that being said, what warrants success for the Detroit Pistons this year? What for the Pistons season would make you say, no matter what, 100%, this was a successful season on behalf of the Pistons? To me, if we're doing one last opportunity to move the goalpost, I think that is the finals. I look at the situation that they're in right now. Best 2 out of 3 against Cleveland, team that looked terrible for the first 2 games. Awful. You got a chance to go into 3. You have the home court advantage, and then you're playing a Knicks team that you had their number all year long. Before the season started, if I would have asked this question, hey, you win a playoff series? You win 2? Oh my God, successful season for sure. The issue is they won 60 games. I think their front office would have said, we just want to win a playoff series, get some experience, and learn more about our core. That was the front office's goal for the season before the season started, at the trade deadline, and I think going into the playoffs, anything else was cherry. Well, feels like right now the league office thinks, or the Pistons front office thinks right now, cherry on top if they win this Cleveland series. I would zag and say I think that now there's just an opportunity right in front of you. You're within an arm's reach of the finals. Anything falling short of that would be a disappointment to me at this point, knowing who's waiting for you in the New York Knicks. That's kind of where I've settled on this. Is that too high of a goal? Is the goalpost too far back? Is this the 68-yard field goal where it's like, I don't know, man. We haven't seen this quite yet.
I'm going to say something stupid.
All right.
I think there's a difference between being disappointed in them losing to the Knicks and calling it a disappointment. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Because I certainly will be disappointed if they lose to the Knicks in the conference finals. Like, I will be, because it's a team that you took care of business with in the regular season, and it just felt reasonable for them to go. It'd be different if they're playing OKC in the West in the conference finals, and you're like, okay, they're not going to beat this team.
Wrap it up. Great season, fellas.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's fine. They're playing a team that you legitimately don't have to convince yourself that they can beat, because they just can beat them, So, yes, I would be disappointed. I wouldn't call it a disappointment, though. That's a tough label to throw on. A disappointment of a season is these teams that flaked out in round 1. In Boston, disappointment. Despite them having the injury with Tatum and everything, disappointment of a season. Well, Cleveland, if they lose to the Pistons, disappointment. No doubt about it.
Let's put that word over there and say, well, what's success? What does success look like for the Pistons? Have they already achieved that? Is this a successful season already? Or do they have to win this Cleveland series? Or do they have to go to the finals? Like, where's the goalpost at in terms of defining success, not disappointment?
I keep it where I've always had it. You beat Cleveland in this series, success. There's a check. The season is successful. Now, I do think that almost puts a label on, like, well, that means if I don't think they're going to win the next series, and I'm happy with that, because I don't want to do that. Like, so it's tough. Like, that's why I kind of am starting to lean more with you, because if I'm saying I'm happy with them beating the Cavs and that's it,
yeah, then you get there and you're like, well, why stop now?
Exactly, and like it's not easy to get back to this point. It's not easy for any team in any sport to get this close to a championship, especially with you facing a team that you think you can beat. Mm-hmm. They're not playing LeBron James in the mid-2010s in the Eastern Conference. Like,
what are the odds they get back to an Eastern Conference? I know they won't be favored in this series, but what are the odds they get back and are favored? Like, I don't know. I don't think that's a guarantee that they ever get back to an Eastern Conference Finals. So you got to, when you're there, really make best of it. Now, I'm willing to draw the line at the finals. Like, hey, man, they make it to the finals?
Oh, duh. Everybody
they can get swept, and I'll be completely satisfied with this season. Like, I'll draw the line right there. They make it to the finals.
You go to the NBA Finals,
no
100%.
Matter how that thing plays out, I'll be happy. Not every team can say that. OKC makes it to the finals, losing 7, disappointment of a season. Spurs, that's a different situation, I think. But, like, the Knicks, if they don't, they're also a unique situation, I think.
I've only watched my favorite team play for a title twice in my life.
Twice?
I remember Ty Lawson killing Michigan State in the 2009 NCAA championship.
I was thinking pro teams.
Obviously, the Red Wings, I was a little bit too young, and I also just wasn't a huge Wings fan as a kid. Pro teams-wise, it's just the Tigers, and they got killed. Like, I've never even seen, and that was me still as a kid.
Yeah.
That was me in school. Like, as an adult, I have never witnessed one of my teams compete for a title. They made it to the finals. I'm going to be ecstatic. Who cares if they get swept? They could lose by 40 in every game.
And not just that, not just the fact that you haven't seen it in so long, not just the fact that they might get swept by Oklahoma City or the Spurs, whoever makes it out of that, but the fact that they're so far ahead of schedule. Like, oh my God, Cade at 20, what is he, 25, just made it to the finals, 24, 25 years old, just made it to the finals. That's not supposed to happen for another couple of years, and they've already made it once. That would give me a tremendous amount of confidence. Like I said, nothing's guaranteed. We both agreed there. If they were to make it to a finals this year on the back of Cade Cunningham with Jalen Duren playing as bad as he has been, that would make me feel pretty comfortable. Like, yeah, they're going to get back at some point. They're going to get back at some point because of this guy, Cade Cunningham.
Could it be viewed as like but they're complacent that this team is a championship team when I think we all kind of agree it's not, right? Like, they certainly do need to upgrade.
Yeah, I was thinking about
They
this
still
yesterday.
don't have like a second best player.
That's the thing. I was like, as great as Tobias Harris has been, this 20-point streak that was just like unspeakable. Like, I saw the joke that was like, Bam scoring 83 was more likely than Tobias Harris, what he's done in the playoffs. I'm like, yeah, kind of. It was pretty easy to say after the first round, like, yeah, he's played his way back onto the Pistons. He's going to make $20 million a year, 2-year contract, sign him up. And now I'm thinking about it like, I don't know. I'm not all that guaranteed that he's going to be back for the Pistons this year. I don't think that's a guarantee next year. If there's a chance to upgrade that spot,
Somebody
I think
might
they do
pay
it.
Tobias also. Like, are we ruling that out?
It's also still just the most upgradable spot. And you could say
It
Jalen
always has
Duren's
been.
is the most upgradable spot, but like, name the center that you're.
Yeah, are they
bringing
just
in.
walking around?
Yeah,
Guys Tobias's spot still is the most upgradable, but he has definitely earned a right to be like, if they bring him back, I'm going to be like, cool. Hell yeah, Tobias. Like, welcome
basically
back.
just relies on that jump shot that Asar Thompson's been kind of breaking in case of emergency.
We're not doing that, are we?
Hey, man,
We're not doing
he's
that.
willing to shoot it right now. This is crazy. In the regular season, he never shot it once. What does he have, like 3 or 4 3-point attempts? None of them have gone in, except for that one that was
what are
after
we
the
talking
buzzer.
about?
I'm just saying.
I just think
what I'm saying is if you keep Tobias Harris, all of a sudden there's, like, you're pretty much staring at Asar Thompson like, you're going to get better, right? That's what it comes down to.
And I think the issue with setting the goalpost short, and I also just want to say to Jacob's point in the YouTube chat, are we confident they're going to win this series? LOL. Yeah, we probably should be, not just like fast forwarding to the NBA Finals. But with setting the goalpost short of, I don't know if they can go to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know if they can go to the NBA Finals. You start focusing on next year and what's to come before this current season is even over. And that's not something that you want to even think about. You have to live in the moment.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the problem was, like, what is setting the goalpost too short? The fact that they've already been there, or the fact that all they need to do is win 2 more games and then you're satisfied? Because that's kind of where you're leaning right now, and I feel like that's probably the appropriate place to put it.
It is. Based off of the history of the league, it's the appropriate response. It's the appropriate way to go about it.
But I don't know, man. I think I'm going to push it a little further back of, like, no, like, we're here. And I'm not going to do it further than the finals, but we're here. Like, we got to get there. I'm not losing to the Knicks again and being okay with that. The way that you went out last year, you fought tooth and nail. You're a better team than you were last year. I can't handle another Knicks loss. I will not be satisfied with the season if they lose to the Knicks in the conference finals, even if it goes 7 games.
And Gary's bringing up what we talked about earlier. He said, didn't we just say the Lions said we'll be back next year, bright future after losing in the playoffs? Pistons might not be back.
Mm-hmm. It's think about what Scott Harris was saying last year, or towards the trade deadline.
Wait till next year.
Wait till next year. We like our prospects.
Next
guess
year's
what?
here.
Everybody got hurt.
They stink.
Yeah, they're terrible. They just got smacked by the worst team in Major League Baseball in the Mets. Injuries happen. The future's unpredictable. What's not unpredictable is the situation that's directly in front of you. You are within 6 wins of making it to the NBA Finals. Who knows if you can get back to that position? So I think the goalpost is getting to the finals. That's where I'm setting it one last time.
All right.
Where are you setting it?
I'm
Final
sticking
verdict.
conference finals. They make it to the conference finals. That is success.
Okay. All right, we got our winner. Mike, congratulations to Mike from Bay City. He is our winner for Big Win Wednesday. Thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. He gets a $100 forward convenience store card.
Jealous, man. I'm
to
jealous
use
of you,
anywhere.
Mike.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk to Eric Vincent with Clutch Sports. beat writer for the Detroit Pistons. Excited about that. We'll catch up with him here momentarily. 11 o'clock hour is brought to you by Yiter Insurance. Life happens fast, and at Yiter Insurance, they understand not everyone's insurance needs are the same. They want to work personally with you. Create something best suited for your needs. From home and auto to life and business insurance, Yiter is the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people you can actually talk to. That's Yiter Insurance Group. We'll be there when you need us since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9. Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Eric Vincent, Detroit Pistons beat reporter for Clutch Sports, joining us now here on the show. Eric, appreciate you jumping on. Let's just jump right into it, though. You know, I think Jalen Duren has been the focal point for a lot of Pistons fans as someone to point the finger to as to why they're in this situation, why they were down 3-1 to the Magic. But, and that blame is rightfully so, to be very clear. What's going on with Isaiah Stewart, though? Because his minutes have been going down and down as the playoffs have continued. He's played 44 minutes in this Cavs series and has 0 blocks and 0 steals. That's like just as big of a deal to me as some of the Jalen Duren stuff that's been, happening. This one's just kind of flying under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, this one's been a little confusing too. I mean, he had a great game. I think it was game 4 against the Magic where he had the 8 blocks off the bench. He was fantastic. And according to Stu, he's healthy. He says he's 100%. He says he's not, under any duress in terms of injury. So it's just kind of confusing in terms of why his minutes have gone down. We haven't really heard any reports from the team. He hasn't been on the injury report at all. He does get into foul trouble quite a bit. Like if you look at the way he plays, he does have a couple possessions where he'll be blocking out for a rebound and he'll just snatch a defender with his hands and get called for a foul. A lot of Pistons have been getting called for a lot of those, unfortunate kind of fouls. But I don't know. It's been a little confusing. Luckily, the Pistons do have so much, center depth, at their disposal with Paul Reed playing so well. But Beef Stew is going to have to be impactful, and he is going to have to be on the floor because we're seeing a lot more in production from the Cavaliers front court, and the Pistons got to be able to match that to win this series.
I think you're right that, just the dumb fouls that he picks up is part of the reason. Like there's been a bunch of 3-second violations as well for Stu. Mm-hmm. Just a lot of stuff that just can't happen in the playoffs. Do you think he's healthy, though? Because to me, he's not moving the same. I know he says he is, but there's something about it where it's just like, I don't know if he's jumping as high, laterally across the floor. Something just looks up.
I don't want to say it. It does look a little different, but I mean, he's been finishing a little bit better. And I don't want to say he's been finishing. He's been struggling a little bit with his shot, but I can't really pinpoint what it is. I know when he goes to the bench, he puts those ice packs on his knees, but that's pretty regular. I think he's been doing that really a big chunk of the season. So I can't necessarily pin it to like just the injuries, especially if he tells us it's injury. Like if he says he's healthy and ready to go, he says, I want to, kill the narrative. I'm 100% and I'm good to go. Then I got to take him at his word, and we got to hold him to the standard that he's 100% healthy. If he wasn't, I would imagine he would be a little bit more open about it. Cause I mean, Stu's a good player, but he's not a guy that teams, I think, game plan their entire, philosophy around. He's kind of just, one of those glue guys that makes impact in terms of energy. So if it was something big, I think he would have reported it. I think we would have seen a little bit more treatment with it. So like for me, I'm going to take him at his word and say that he's healthy if that's how he says.
Cade, the biggest concern for me, not just in this series, not just tonight, but like long term, looking a little bit ahead, is Cade's got the highest usage rate of anybody in the playoffs right now. He's played the most minutes of everybody, and you are starting to see a little bit of a worn down version of Cade Cunningham in this Cavs series. He's shooting just 39% in this series so far. How realistic is it that with this workload on offense, Cade Cunningham can continue to deliver the way that he has up to this point in the playoffs?
I think it's going to be a challenge for him. I think we kind of saw it against the Knicks last season. We saw like some of the turnovers looks like he can just look a little gassed. I mean, if you watch how they're playing him, even going back to the Orlando series, they're picking him up full court and making him press. He caught the 8-second violation, with Strus guarding him, just kind of some lazy turnovers that look a little careless. And even the guys around him not playing that great. Like Asar is supposed to be one of those ball handlers that takes some pressure off of him to let Cade play off ball. And then he had 4 or 5 turnovers last game. Danish didn't really have the best game. Karras was fantastic, and they unfortunately spoiled that. But it's not going to be an easy challenge for Cade Cunningham. I was one of the more open, media people saying that the Pistons need to kind of find another creator to take some pressure off of Cade Cunningham. You look at any other star in the NBA, and they have somebody to kind of supplement the assistance of, having to carry the weight on their own. Even Orlando last series, or even the Cavaliers this series, like having that two-way punch of the playmaking of James Harden and his shooting to go with the dynamic scoring of Donovan Mitchell, and then having Dennis Schroeder off the bench. Like that is a huge benefit to have. And unfortunately for the Pistons, a lot of what they do is predicated on what Cade Cunningham can create. And I think we're starting to see some of those like signs of maybe getting a little fatigue, like pick up at tough times. And it's unfortunate because they're going to need him at 100% again if they're going to get out of this series.
Yeah, that's what we led the show with today of like what is the goal for this Detroit Pistons team? And I think if you ask the front office that at any point in the season, it was simply win a playoff series and understand a little bit more and more about this core as that playoff series continued. And I think, if that's just what the goal is, you checked a lot of those boxes. Now you're hungry for a little bit more. And what we've been comparing it to, and I know you'll get this because I see the Lions stuff behind you, is like, man, 2023, you just kind of ended up in the NFC Championship, and it was like, oh, like we'll be back. You don't need to be necessarily aggressive. And the thing I always look back upon that season is, why did they not trade for Montez Sweat? And I think in Brad Holmes' mind, it was, well, we're going to be back in this situation. In the case of the Pistons, it's like, okay, we'll think about next year. We want to find out about the core. They obviously didn't address, to your point, not having an extra ball handler for Cade at the deadline. And I almost wonder if, like, yeah, all that stuff's great. It feels like we're ahead of schedule right now. But now that we're within an arm's reach in 6 games of the finals, I feel like a lot of Pistons fans, if this doesn't work out in the future, and the future is just completely unpredictable, we're going to look back at this trade deadline and be like, man, Ayo Dosunmu, Kobe White, why were those guys not Pistons? And it's going to be one of those moments where it's like, we were ahead of schedule, but it was right there for the taking, and Trajan Langdon and the Pistons didn't take it. Are they going to regret that decision? Right now, the answer feels like yes.
We're locked in on everything you just said.
Perfect.
Even going back to the Lions, like I remember getting killed on Twitter by saying, "Yo, go for Montez Sweat, even Chase Young." Because for me, my approach with that is, even if you go grab somebody, even if it's a cheap rental, whatever it is, granted, you're not crashing out and killing all your capital, but you can at least give the impression of, hey guys, we're trying, we're going for it. We see that this roster isn't perfect, and we're trying to fill in the holes to make sure we are as prepared as possible to go to this championship window. So I 100% agree with you on everything you just said about the Lions, and I'm in lockstep with the Pistons as well. Next year will be year 6 of Cade Cunningham. He's shown to be an MVP level player. Sports are completely unpredictable. You don't know how things can change. You don't know how the landscape can change. Even going back to the football with the Micah Parsons trade by the Green Bay Packers and how that completely flipped the landscape of that division while the Lions were still just chilling and going through the evaluation and relying on internal development. The Pistons are doing the exact same thing, and I can understand some fan frustration with that because he came into the season thinking that Jaden Ivey would help supplement that second creator for the Pistons. Obviously, that didn't work out. And bringing in Kevin Huerter was cool, but at the same time, you still leave a little bit to be desired when you see the workload that Cade is taking on. Now, granted, we did see Jalen Duren play better. We saw Danis Jenkins step up and become a blossoming, name for the Pistons team. But it's clear cut that there's still a big gap in terms of the offensive assistance that Cade Cunningham needs. He excels when there's shooters around him. He's a very selfless player, but if he's getting picked up full court and getting double teamed and triple teamed late in games, it's gonna make his production suffer. And we're seeing that in this series. We saw it to an extent last series. And at some point, it's gonna have to happen where Trajan is able to go get somebody to help this man, because the Pistons cannot put everything on the heliocentric Cade Cunningham to lift this Pistons team.
Ben and I have been talking about all series long how it's crazy Tobias Harris is the second best player for the Pistons in this series. And you would have thought that's a crazy good thing. And it is a crazy good thing, but it also means that Jalen Duren, of course, has underperformed. So is it better that the Pistons have Tobias playing at the level that he is, or worse that Jalen Duren is playing the level that he is?
It's worse, 100%. I've said this all regular season. I love Tobias Harris. He's one of my favorite Detroit Pistons of all time. I love when the Pistons traded for him about 10 years ago. But I've said it all regular season. If he's the one that has to score 20 plus, if he's the one that has to be your second fiddle, that means something else is not working right with the other guys. And that's exactly what's happening. Granted, I'm not one of the people who thinks Asar Thompson can just rest on rest on offense because his defense is so valuable. I don't agree with that at all. I think he needs to be able to help you offensively as well. He doesn't have to be a shooter. He don't have to be Steph Curry. I know that's one of his biggest issues, but knowing what his athleticism is, like how great his handle can be at times, he's a good playmaker and a great processor. You need him involved and helpful on offense. Jalen Duren the exact same way. So the veterans, I always say for Tobias, it was never about how many points Tobias scores. It was when he scores. When the other team gets hot, you can throw to Tobias in the post. He can get you a quick bucket and cool their runoff. If you're late in the fourth quarter and they're doubling Cade Cunningham, you need somebody else to go get a bucket. You should be able to rely on your veterans. We saw that with Malik Beasley last year. We saw that with Tim Hardaway last year. We see that sometimes with Duncan Robinson, he can be a little hot and cold, but that's what you rely on your veteran presence for. So, no, you're 100% right. I think it's a bigger sign that there's struggle from the younger guys who you're planning on being here for the next 10 years compared to Tobias, who's playing really good right now, but we don't know what the next 5 to 10 years is going to look like for Tobias at age 33.
How you're saying you have always loved Tobias Harris. That's how I've always felt about Asar. Like, I've been willing to turn the eye to, like, yeah, there's more to be desired on offense, but I think he's such a smart connecting piece for any basketball team. It just so happens he's playing with Jalen Duren and having two guys that can't shoot. You run into some problems, but I think he's a one-of-one defender, one of the most special defenders on the planet, with the exception of Victor Wembanyama. He's probably the best defender on the planet. So my question to you is this. Has he put himself in a position with how he's played, which is like every other game, it feels like he's best defensive player in the world, and then you have a game like, game 4 where it's a ton of turnovers, a lot of fouls. Feels like we're getting every other Asar right now. Has he turned himself into the second most valuable asset on this Pistons team, with Jalen Duren going down to that third spot?
No, not yet. I still think it's Jalen Duren because I think your big man, especially on a team like the Detroit Pistons, where they play kind of an old school philosophy, where they want to attack the paint, where they want to rebound, where they want to, prioritize defense. Like, if people are able to say Asar doesn't have to be super active offensively, you can't say that for Jalen Duren. As your big man, the guy who's always in pick and roll situations with Cade Cunningham, one of the best rebounders in basketball, a guy that you're hoping can grow and, play with his back to the basket and score at the rim at times, and also be a playmaker as well. Also, you need him to be your most important rim protector on defense and to help him pick and roll sets on defense as well. Jalen Duren has to be involved basically in every single play for the Detroit Pistons. You can't say that about Asar Thompson yet. Now, granted, I think you can make the argument there's our games where he can be more important because he's very active offensively in terms of rebounding, playmaking, bringing the ball up, being a secondary creator sometimes. But there are also times where he kind of just can sit in the corner and doesn't really do much because defenders are taking away his ability to cut along the baseline, cut to the free throw line, or shoot that mid-range shot that we see every blue moon. So to me, I don't see enough involvement from Asar to be able to put him under that number 2 rank. I need to see more. Like, there's so many possessions where he'll have the ball and he's not even looking at the rim. He'll have a mismatch and he's not even looking at the rim. It's where's Cade? Where's Cade? Where's Cade? And he goes for a DHO. Like, nah, you got to be able to, like, I don't need him to be Steph Curry. I know the Pistons have put in Fred Vincent and resources to help his shooting. But as of right now, again, the shooting can come later, but as of right now, he has to find a way to be more aggressive in terms of his playmaking, his scoring, to help make the defense move and get off of Cade Cunningham. Because when he's playing passive, you see how much attention is still drawn to Cade, especially when other guys like Duncan when he's gone quiet, Duren when he goes quiet, Danis when he goes quiet. Somebody else has to be able to pick the water up. And Asar Thompson, I don't think should be, just what's the term I'm looking for? Pacified in terms of what his offensive output is. I think he should be involved more often.
Do you think that we get a Jalen Duren resurgence at any point in the playoffs, or has that ship sailed? Because I was someone who defended this guy for so long. I thought when Cade went out with the collapsed lung, I was like, listen, man, like, if the Pistons go on a run, it's going to be because of Jalen Duren. They have the best duo in the Eastern Conference. It's a 1-2 punch. It's not just the Cade Cunningham show. And boy, did I end up being wrong about that. And now they're in a situation where, like, game 4, that's where I just, like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I can't keep defending this guy and expecting it to continue, expecting, like, the regular season Jalen Duren to come back. The 2 rebounds, that's the thing that really frustrated me through 27 minutes. He's getting out hustled on the glass. He's not diving on the floor. The crazy stat I found is that he has 0 loose balls recovered on defense, and it's just like, that's just a hustle stat, man. So do you think that we get a resurgence from Jalen Duren at any point? Is there a bounce back in the works, or is this just kind of who we're getting the rest of the playoffs? Someone who it feels like a miracle if they can score 15 points.
I think it's possible. I don't think the Pistons lean on him a lot. I don't think we're going to see this form all series. I think he should be due for a bounce back game. I think it could be tonight. I think he's shown that he can be as physical as the front court players of the Cavs. You know, they were able to get Jared Allen in foul trouble over the first 3-4 minutes in game one.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley has still shown signs of being a little bit soft, but I mean he was fantastic in game four. And I still think Jalen Duren can match that intensity. I don't think he's just so overmatched that he couldn't have an impact. And again, the Pistons believe in him as well. They do a lot to get him the ball. They believe in him as a playmaker. He's one of the strongest players in the entire game. I just think they need to put him in better positions to take advantage of some of his, what his production could be. Like for me, I'm tired of seeing him bring the ball up from half court. I'm tired of seeing him dribbling around the 3-point line. I'm tired of seeing him operate from the perimeter. He doesn't have a Jokic type handle where he's comfortable enough to be dribbling as much as he has. The Pistons have quite a few guys that over dribble possessions like Duren, Karis LeVert, Danish Jenkins. When they're not decisive enough with the ball, they can get careless with it and then they turn it over. Duren is really one of the most guilty of that. When he just puts his, mind to go into the hoop and takes 3 dribbles and just powers through his defender, that's when he gets to the free throw line. That's when he's attacking and at his best. But when he's trying to go, hot sauce and one and, doing the over creation thing, he gets himself in trouble. Again, that's just not his game. He's not the handle is not crafty enough for him to be doing that. And I want the Pistons to be a little bit more decisive with how he's used in terms of his offensive creation, because I do think he is due for a bounce back game. I don't think we see this terrible form from him through the entire series. I don't think so.
Eric Vincent, Clutch Sports, Detroit Pistons beat writer. I saw your Twitter bio. I see the WWE title behind you. Obafemi dream opponent. Go.
It was Brock, but now I ain't gonna lie. If you watch my timeline very well, I'm not a Roman Reigns fan. I want to see him.
Oh, come on, man! That's the tribal chief.
Nah, man, I can't stand Roman, bro. I can't. First, I didn't
know that. I don't know if I could have had you out as a guest on the show if I know that.
I should have told you ahead of time. I'm sorry, but I'm not a part-time fan. I don't like how he always has to be in the main event. I feel like he's been recycling the same promo since 2020. I like guys who are versatile, who can work with anybody, who can go to the mid-card for a little while, who can take a loss and rebuild themselves. Like, I'm a big Seth Rollins fan. You don't always have to be champion to show that you're the best. Like, Shawn Michaels wasn't always beating everybody. Like, he was great because he took L's and was able to bounce back and recreate himself. Even Triple H, I think he's one of the greatest heels because when he lost, he was a complete D-head when he was winning. But when he lost, he was a psychopath and killed everybody. And I love that. I hate how Roman is so pacified and he always has to get spoon-fed titles and he always has to win and he can never take a loss. He never wrestles on Raw and SmackDown. So I want to see Obafemi beat him. I think Oba should have a world title on his waist by the end of the year. And I think him and Roman could tell a great story to make that happen.
Eric Vincent, go ahead and plug yourself. Where can people find you?
You can find me over on social media at I am Eric Vincent. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of the above. I got my own YouTube channel, Top Title Detroit. Closing in on 800 subscribers. I'm building that thing up, and I'm pretty proud about that. So you can subscribe and lock in with me on there. And all my beat reporting as well on clutchpoints.com. I also do play-by-play for the Detroit Pistons away games on liveonassist.com. It's linked up to my YouTube page, so you guys can follow me on there, tap in with my work. It would really mean the world to me, man. I appreciate y'all so much for having me.
Hell yeah, man. Maybe we can get you a couple new subscribers on that channel. I'll make sure to go hit that subscribe button right when we hang up. So appreciate you coming on. Hopefully we can check back in, hopefully in the Eastern Conference Finals. Sound good?
Fingers crossed. Let's make it happen, fellas. Appreciate y'all.
There we go. Eric Vincent, have a good day. We will talk to him hopefully in the Eastern Conference Finals. We've got news to get to. We've got our 3 traditions, just threw my pen, all coming up here on the Ben Bosscher Show live on the Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Myth.
All right, let's hit the news, see what's going on.
The Mitts Morning Catch.
Okay, we're right back in the news. Quick rendition of the news. Let's take a look at the Covenant Healthcare injury report because there is an added injury to the Pistons injury report tonight, Ben. Yikes. Duncan Robinson is questionable tonight with a back injury. Karis LeVert is once again questionable with a heel injury. He was the same thing last game, and then he had, the best game of his playoff career probably. Kevin Huerter, still questionable with that thigh injury. Probably don't see him, but man, the Duncan Robinson one got me a little bit like, whoa, it's a little scary.
Do you want some good news?
Is he no longer on it?
I think he's still on it, but he was a participant in this morning's shoot-around, so good sign.
That's a very good sign. Okay, good. That makes me feel a lot better, because if they didn't have him, I know he had a bad game in Game 4, but
They still need him out there to space the floor.
100% they still
He
need
could
him.
go 0 for 4 every game. They're going to need him out there to space the floor.
Yeah. Pistons Cavs tonight at 8 on ESPN, and then tomorrow we have no basketball on tomorrow.
I hate
First
that.
time in quite some days that we've had no hoops because they're giving Timberwolves Spurs an extra day, so we will have 2 games on Friday. 2 Game 6s both being played Friday night. Interesting. And then potentially 2 Game 7s on Sunday. What if we get double Game 7 again?
Whoa. That'd
What do
be
you mean,
awesome.
whoa?
Just saying, that'd be awesome.
Oh.
Be too much
that
to
would
handle.
be awesome. Okay, let's head to the golf course. The PGA Championship is starting tomorrow, the second major of the year. It's played in the suburbs of Philadelphia this year. Scotty Scheffler, your favorite, at plus 480. Rory McIlroy at plus 950. Cameron Young, who's been really hot all year long, plus 1,200 in third there. I haven't made any bets yet. I love doing these for the majors. Scotty's the reigning champion of the PGA Championship as well. So we'll see if he can double up. Feels like he's probably due, I would think.
Scotty?
I mean,
he hasn't won anything.
He's
this year,
going to
right?
win a major at some point. And he got off to a really hot start, and then obviously had a kid, and so it kind of threw everything off. It got really hot late in the Masters. Feels like he's probably due. I probably will end up taking Scotty at plus 480, but also a plus 480 price to win a golf tournament is just...
I don't love that.
Come on, man. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You got to put a lot on that. Okay, we got a new Tigers medical update yesterday. Let's go over the big things in it. Javi Baez has started a hitting progression this week. He is completing rehab daily. The big one is that Casey Mize threw a live BP yesterday, and I was listening to Dan Dickerson on the radio just for a couple of innings yesterday, and he said he was talking to Casey Mize, and Mize is like super excited to get back and seems like he's progressing pretty well. So
Thank God.
that's really good to hear that Casey Mize threw live BP. Will Vest threw a bullpen session yesterday, and that's basically it. Gleyber Torres is on here, Verlander, but I mean, we don't know much about those guys' return. The Mize thing is really the big one. And Troy Melton is on a rehab assignment with the Toledo Mud Hens today.
He's going to be back like in 10 days, basically.
Yeah,
I think May 24th was the day
I
he
think
can come back.
27 maybe, one of them. He's probably just going to pitch with the Mud Hens up until he's ready to come back, which is really big news because the Tigers need any pitching that they can get right now. All right, that's pretty much it for the news. I don't have much else to get to.
All right, that sounds like
Yeah.
a plan then, man.
We'll call it there.
Sounds like a good idea. We will have our 3 traditions to close out each and every show when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on The Mint. You guys can see us live on YouTube. Hey, Mid-Michigan, do your eyes feel itchy or dry or irritated all day? That is not normal. And Mid-Modern Eye Care and Dry Eye Clinic specializes in dry eye treatment that actually works. If your eyes burn, water, or feel tired from screens, they can help you get real lasting relief. From advanced dry eye care to exams, glasses, and contacts, they've got you covered. Stop dealing with discomfort and start seeing comfortably again. See better, feel better with Mid-Modern Eye Care and Dry Eye Clinic next to Kroger in Midland.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, we have 3 traditions to close out the Ben Bosscher Show. The first of which, we're trying to make a little bit of money in the month of May. I call it the lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
So we didn't have a lock of the day yesterday. Monday, did it hit on Monday? I don't remember.
No, it was Duncan Robinson to get 12 points. I think he
Yeah.
had 1 point. No, he ended up hitting a 3. He had 4 points.
It was tough, though, regardless.
It's a bad Duncan Robinson game. And we kind of we literally sniffed it out live. We're like, yeah, it just kind of makes sense. He's had a lot of good games in a row. These shooters just always kind of have a game where they take one off. Maybe tonight is the big Duncan Robinson game, if you ever were going to pick one.
Yeah, but now he's hurt. I still stood by it because how often he was getting wide open shots.
I mean, I tailed it.
He played good in game 3. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to Tobias today. He's still plus odds to score 20. I kind of can't believe that. It feels like every matchup, like James Harden's guarding this guy a lot of the times. Donovan Mitchell's guarding him a lot of the time. Like, it feels like he's an automatic bucket to get 2 points whenever he wants. It's just a matter of how many shots is he going to take. I think he takes enough. As long as he hits like 2 threes, this usually goes down. So I'm going to go with Tobias Harris to score 20. I mean, he did in 7 straight games. Still plus odds. Seems a little surprising. I wanted to do this in game 4.
If he had done it last game, then it would be surprising, but maybe it's like the end of the 20-point Tobias run.
Maybe. Or he just scores 20 again tonight. I mean, if he doesn't score 20, they probably don't win.
You think so?
I would guess so.
I'm going to fade this today. I think he gets 18 points.
That's mean.
I think he gets close, but just not quite to 20.
This is no cigar.
Plus 112 today. I give the people a quick update. You're still 0.8 units up in May so far, so still positive. Have the chance to go under today. 13.28 units down in 2026, and you're just 1 unit down so far this week with no play yesterday.
Okay, there we go. That's our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Our second tradition, the game of the day.
Game of the day.
Well, there's only one basketball game on today, and it happens to feature the Detroit Pistons. So you know what it is. Pivotal Game 5. The winner of Game 5 wins the series 85% of the time when it's tied 2-2. Enormous game today. Enormous game. Probably the biggest Pistons game 2008.
Since Game 7 against the Magic last series? That was the biggest game.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But I do agree. Yeah, this is, you go up 3-2 in this game. You could go back to the Eastern Conference Finals. You could you're just kind of writing it in. Cleveland's not going to win Game 7 on the road if the Pistons win tonight.
No, I think if the Pistons win tonight, they close it out in 6.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
See, I was actually looking at this because even after the Pistons had lost Game 3, I was like, they're going to win in 5. And I did the Pistons in 5 play, and it was better odds for them to win in 5 rather than to win in 6 because they just don't think the Pistons would close it in Cleveland, which is still the case.
It's more likely that it's Game 7 has shorter odds, like it to go 7 has shorter odds than 6.
One sec, I'm finding it.
I would imagine so. They probably think they're going to split.
Yeah, I would assume it is too.
Okay.
I can't really find it.
That's okay. That is our game of the day.
Game of the day.
All right, yet again, for our last tradition, I get screwed over by not...
Wait 1 second.
Okay.
I got 2 words for you. Steve Nash and Chris Paul. Must-see TV.
As I was saying, I got screwed over yesterday yet again because the Loons had a day game, which means we didn't guess Collins Open, which means 2 shows in a row it is Kyle's turn to go first.
It is my turn to go first. 56-55 is the score. I'll give you a little bit of slack though, because I can't remember if I got a point on Monday or not. And it was so long ago that I got the point. I'm not even going to go back and check.
What are you talking about? I got the point on Monday.
On Monday?
100%.
Oh no, because I made it 55. It was 54. That's right. Okay, never mind then.
Look at that. Kyle's cheating, man. He's trying to.
What was the point Monday then? You remember? It was my turn to go first. I got it wrong on a Monday. There's no way.
Yeah, it was Wemby's ejection.
Isn't that what I picked?
No, you picked something dumb like Aaron Rodgers.
Something dumb like I did not pick Aaron Rodgers.
You picked the Knicks or something. I don't remember. I just remember I'm very adamant that I got a point on that.
I think I wrote down the score as what it is today. So We're rocking with this. 56-55. My turn to go first. Okay. I think this might be the Wemby had a big game last night, right? But the NFL schedule's coming out a little bit today. It's just a reason for him to talk NFL. I don't know if it would be Aaron Rodgers by any part of it. I could see him doing a whole international, what's going on with these games? We got games in Madrid. We got games over here and there, left and right, blah, blah, blah. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to take an international NFL schedule rant from Colin.
Yeah, I'll take Wemby as kind of jumping into the best player in the world conversations.
Yeah.
That's what I'll go with.
That feels like the only NBA take. I just think it's going to be, it gives him a reason to talk NFL today.
Fair enough.
So, yeah.
He'll talk it at some point. I just don't think it's to open up the show. I think it's Wembanyama to open up the show. All right. Well, that's essentially going to do it for us today.
Final predictions for tonight?
106-98 Pistons. 8-point win. You?
I will say 112-96. Big win tonight.
18-point win.
That'd be 16.
16-point win.
Yep. I think they win big, man. What the Spurs did last night almost gave me some inspiration. It was like I'm seeing the future before it happens. The Pistons are going to do that.
Okay.
They're going to win by double digits tonight.
I do not hate it, Mr. Sandell. I do not hate it. Okay. That's going to do it for us today. If you have not liked and subscribed on YouTube already, we would appreciate it if you did. Just search 100.9 The Mitt. You can watch our exclusive video content there. If you missed the show, you can watch it back at any point. Same applies to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever else you get your podcast. Same applies for social media. Wherever you do your social media, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, that's about it. We are there, so just go ahead and search 100.9 The Mitt or The Ben Bosscher Show. TikTok, Instagram's got the exclusive video content. Facebook, designated for news, stats, graphics, stuff that you just aren't going to get anywhere else. So I would highly recommend being one of our 29,000 subscribers on the Facebook page. Hopefully we can get that to 30,000 here pretty soon. That'd be awesome. All right, guys, appreciate you. Talk to you soon. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. We'll see you then.
The Ben Bosscher